with the new Ranger. This is an electric Ranger. Oh my god, I'm stuck here because my cord is charging, and I don't want my mouse to run away from me. I'm trying not to knock everything off my shelf, so I have to play with a corded mouse at the moment. This is uncomfortable, and the cord's tangled. All right, so it's been a minute since we played last. Since the last day, I did some upgrades. I did some actual pretty good upgrades on this build. I need to work on the skill tree a little bit because I changed things around, and it's probably not the most effective. There's a couple guides that a few creators have made that kind of made me look at them and understand a little bit more about what I'm doing as a ranger, but there's not really a full electric build at the moment. A lot of it's magnetic salvo with frost and other things, so I made a few changes, and we're going to be doing more mapping today. We're going to go over and try to find some better loot, better gear. I'm looking for some things. I need to level up a little bit more too, try to hit up more upwards of like level 80 or so. That's going to take some time. But really, I'm just working on my survivability in this game. And what I found yesterday was pretty cool. I got a new quiver, which you guys will probably want to see, which is a absolutely insane quiver. I found this myself. I crafted it myself. It has 15 to 20 physical damage for attacks, 1 to 25 lightning. The 38% increased damage with bow skills is a massive trait to have on top of the damage. And not only that, it has the 12% increased attack speed. The other two probably don't matter as much, but the 15% pierce chance, I mean, you can fix that in the skill tree if you want to have 100% pierce chance. It's not a big deal. Increased critical damage for the bow attack is nice too, but this is probably one of the best quivers I've found ever. I think it is actually the best one. But just with the quiver alone, my damage has jumped up to 6,500. 5,000, you know, so and so. My skills are probably not the best. They're probably not the most. I got a doctor appointment. When is that going to happen? I'm supposed to get my medication filled. Whoops! They just texted me and it's like, "Hey, are you coming in?" Okay. Whoopsies. Off track. Off track. But we're doing mapping, and this is like a quest. In order to you complete these areas, and then you farm better gear, you get better loot, and then you progress toward end game, which is what I'm doing now. It's just a lot of farming. And the hardest part is these monsters scale. They get a lot stronger, and they're harder to kill. The loot drops get better over time. The stats get better, potentially. They can drop you better stats, better gear. But it's really challenging to get other items. But what I do now is I use the frozen arrow to pretty much freeze things. And then I can kind of jump away if it gets a little too spicy. So I can jump back and use this as an escape. I use magnetic salvo to like wave clear. That guy's probably going to kill me here because he actually rolled right into it. I do have another attack like this one, which is the ice salvo. If they're a little too crazy, I can use that also to deal more damage. It's more of like an escape on this class, but I think it's an interesting build. Mine is not maximized, but I can bring in these and then just pull like whatever I need to. I'm surprised I actually survived that. So I don't use my lightning attack as much anymore. It still does damage. But I'm really using the electric rods, lightning rods, to scatter the ground, and then I'm using magnetic salvo to detonate them. The hardest part with this is you need attack speed, and mine's a little low. I need to find better gloves. I can maybe put attack speed on the bow itself, but those two items with attack speed get rather expensive very quickly. Your damage might drop off, your damage might not be as good, because in the resistances on there, for what I have too, it becomes a little bit more expensive. So for example, these gloves, I need to find gloves that have lightning resist, fire resistance on them. I have to have something that has maximum health potentially, that physical damage modifier and the fire damage modifier. So that's like 5 things I need on one deal, and maybe attack speed. If I can get all 5 or all 6 of those, the problem is that that item goes from being worth like 1 exalted orb to being worth like 30. so it becomes very expensive, and the odds of you finding an item that has all those rolls is pretty low. It's possible. I found my bow, and I also found my quiver, so crazier things have been done. I gotta roll out of that one. So this is the, you wanna mark this guy. Fall in a bunch of arrows, spam it, and then hit him with it. And he should die. He just teleported though. Now, I don't think I have my damage as high as I need to on magnetic salvo because of my other stats. But it does enough if I keep him freeze that I can do damage. Now this is a cool quiver. It has 10% increased attack speed as its like primary focus, like it's set in. It's built into the quiver. So I kind of roll these. This one has a T1 roll, so it's probably not worth doing it, but I want to see what else it would come with. So 13 to 17 cold damage. That's actually a pretty high cold damage roll on top of the attack speed. You could keep rolling that if you wanted to and try to get the stats that I have here. It's just, when I found this quiver, the way that it worked for me was that it, I believe it had 38% increased bow skills. And then I rolled it into 15 to 20 physical, and I was like, man, that's really good. So I rolled it again, and I got the lightning damage, and I was like, well, shit, if I could get attack speed, this would be even better. And then boom, I rolled attack speed, and it was just one after another. And I got every single attachment or stat that I would possibly want on that quiver. And they're all decently high, too. It didn't roll like a 6. It rolled something that was really usable. I'm going to see if that freezes. I feel like I'm going to be playing with this build a little bit more as I level up, because I have a little bit more damage for crowd control now, and I have a little bit to escape. But as far as like freezing things and keeping them killed, that's a little bit tough. I also am vulnerable still. My health is a little low. It could be higher, it could be better. My evade needs to be improved. I just died. I didn't even see. I didn't know he can attack like that. This character over here in the bottom right corner, I didn't realize that was a boss, but he hit me through the wall here. I didn't think he could do that, so I wasn't anticipating his attack, and I just stood there like a dummy. So, oh well, maybe less talking, more playing, and I'll try not to die when I have my last like map 5 or whatever. Let's sell this. Let's sell that. Let's sell that. I don't need those. Let's go grab another map here. The only one I have is a map 5. I don't think he'll sell me anymore, will he? No, he won't. Indeed. So we'll do another level 5 map, and we'll try to not die. What's this one? Burning Monolith. More towers. But overall, it's getting a little bit easier to do these quests, to kind of go through these sections and actually farm. It's not easy, it's not perfect, but it is working to some degree, which is kind of nice. But hopefully you guys have been playing or watching along, and hopefully your games are going as well too. This game's doing really, really well as far as player count. People seem to be really enjoying it. It seems to be kind of like a surprisingly good game so far. The end game obviously is going to need some work. We'll get there, maybe. Give them, you know, it's early access still. Gonna have some mana issues, maybe. I need to fix some things with the tree too, but I'm not sure exactly how I want to do that. But before, I wasn't able to really wave clear like this. The build was a little lacking. And now it's doing a little bit better. Magnetic Salvo is a really good skill. The only problem I have with it is it's slow. So you have to like pull back, call it in. But that's why I'm using that ice arrow. So if I like ran up on a guy like this, I can use the ice arrow. I need to get out of there though, because that's dangerous. And call this in. There's a boss, but I can maybe stun him with this. He'll ground pound, and then I just hit him with that and roll back. So it's actually not a bad build. And I'm on level 5 map right now, which is higher than the ones that I was doing before I changed some of my settings. The only problem I have... mana. I think I can make my criticals do more damage, which would help me kill bosses faster. But it seems like it does okay. I haven't really tested a lot of that yet either, so I'm still kind of waiting on that. Let's hope for some better gloves here. 10 to... That's an okay damage roll. It's not bad, but it's not great either. Don't think I need that. Don't think I need that. That's a crazy... It's got quality of level 16. I wonder if that means anything, really. I think these are all kind of junk. That hammer, it might be something. 250 accuracy, not great. The reduced attributes is interesting. That's kind of a nice thing to have probably for somebody who has high skill requirements. I want that quiver though, so I can look at it. 5 to 10 I killed, 4 enemy, not good. Although that one actually had a decent, had like 19 to damage or something. 15 to 20 cold damage seems high. Oh, it's T4. Not as high as I want.
Take this.
So really you're just scattering your arrows and you're hitting them with, because it basically makes the arrows explode. That's how this works. It releases all that energy all at once and then does more damage per arrow. So you can put down, I don't remember how many arrows, it's a lot. I think it's like 20 or something, or close. Now the only problem, I don't have chaos resistance, which is poison damage, and these guys do a lot of poison. But if I can shoot them from a distance without getting them to run to me, by all means. I feel like there's going to be a combination of this build that could be a little more effective with freezing, also getting more crit to actually kill faster, potentially. But the mobility is kind of nice too, because you can get out of the way. But if I had like a 20% increased cast speed, probably it'd be even better. I think the only problem there is I'd run into issues where I shoot too many arrows. I can't cast enough because my mana is low. There should be a boss over here somewhere. There he is. I want that cast. Awkward. I rolled right into it. I'm still learning how to use the arrow that much. So there's definitely moments where I don't do what I mean to do. Like I'll roll the wrong way. And I'm just like, oh, like instead of going away from danger, I roll myself right into danger, which is really bad. Don't really think I need that. The Chaos Orb I'll definitely take. This could be interesting if you wanted to craft that more. I don't think so. Eh. But this is kind of what I've been doing, is just rolling through here, finding items that I might use. And then if I need to, I'll upgrade them. This one, I mean, the 10 attack speed's as high as it goes at the moment. You could roll another attack speed multiplier on there, but the main ones that you want are damage. And if you can get physical damage, bow skills, more percentage to bow skills, it becomes a very valuable one. Also, if it has attack speed, it's GG, and then you have a really valuable item, which can kind of let you build whatever you want if you start selling your items instead of using them. It depends on how strong they are. But if you find stuff that you don't need, or you find extras, I mean, you can just sell it. Like I almost found boots that were worth like 200 or something. Almost. They had 3 resistances on the boots. They just didn't roll fast movement speed. And if they rolled fast movement speed, they'd be worth a good amount. And I could pretty much buy any item I want. So it's all about finding, you know, really rare gear, either that you can use or something that can give you an upgrade. and then you can either sell it, trade it, and then use it on your main character or something else, depending on what you want to do. Another bow. This is another thing I do too. Every bow I find, I craft. I actually waste my time doing it because I want to roll a better percent damage bow. And it's one way I can maybe get a free upgrade. Kind of a free upgrade. But I like the freeze of that arrow. Oh, there's probably a way I can make that better with the skill tree. Or maybe make it cover more. Or have a higher chance to freeze. I could probably also use Herald of Ice instead of Thunder. Which might give me more as well. It looks like a dead end up there. Haven't even got to the bosses yet. There's a mini boss here. There's an elite mob. I think he's right there. Couple Roas. Freeze him, call in a bunch of arrows. Just hope he doesn't blow up on kill. So that map's completed.
That would only slow me down.
Another dual string. But what I do is when I find these bows, I'm trying to show an example of this. So you can get your magic one, or you can get like a base one. I just roll the base ones because you never know what you'll get. Like 1 to 19 lightning damage, 6 to physical, so that one's junk, so I usually just chuck it. This one dropped, I just need to ID it. So 37 to 42 fire damage is pretty high. You could keep that, it has dexterity on there. You could roll it and see if you get something decent, like, you know, something else, but you'd have to use one of these, which is a little more expensive. So it's not a bad option. Usually I just make like a savings of those just to see what works and what doesn't work. But this map's complete. I'm going to come back and clean it because I didn't get another keystone out of it, which is not great. So it means I can't do level 5 maps because I don't have a way to spawn them. So if I go here, I can only get level 1, which are a little too easy. And I need more tabs for level 5, which is kind of a problem. So, this bow, I might keep it. Don't need that. This is a decent glove. Has more physical damage on there. You could roll that one, but I don't really want to. I'm just not going to do it. 107% increased physical is pretty high. Only T4 though, so I feel like I could get better. This has potential, but I think it's not worth the investment. Same thing with this bow. That one's a little too weak. This one might be worth trying. Because if you get another multiplier like physical damage on that one, you might want it. You know, you might want something on there that will benefit your character and help you a lot. But it really, really just depends. What's up, Alex? How you doing, man? Let's go ahead and put that in there. I'm gonna go finish cleaning out that map. It should almost be done. I'm just hoping to find another map, like a waystone. So I gotta look for them. I also can't, well, I guess I could technically die and the map would still be complete. Oh shit, that's awkward. I almost got smoked right there. Another bow. 41% accuracy, 15% increased. Light radius, nah. Not good enough. That's why I like the build here. I can freeze things. I can kind of move in between them if it actually does freeze. And I can get away, which, you know, I'm not sitting there taking hits. I have a little bit more backpedal, and then I can just use this long range attack to spam and then take out all that damage. So I don't even have to get super close to them. I can just sit back a little bit more and shoot them from range. And if they push up, you know, I can kind of pull back a little. It's kind of nice. There's 50 monsters left, so there's got to be a unique guy around here somewhere. I'm surprised I haven't found any like waystones for level 4, level 2, level 3, nothing. That's the only issue is like the way for me to call this in takes a while because the attack speed's slow, so it has to like charge up. The only negative about the build that I don't like. But if I got a better bow with more attack speed, I got better gloves with more attack speed, I think it'd be better overall, and it wouldn't be a problem. You can also increase your attack speed through the skill tree as well too. There's a few things I didn't fill out on that either. So that's something I need to do as well as I level up a little bit more. I'll probably go back and change it because I was in between a build and then I went back and I tried somebody else's build, which is very similar to this. And I currently have their stats on it. But I changed my skill gems back to my previous build, but I left their passives. And it still works. But I think if I roll back all the items to have my skills plus different passives and just focus it more on magnetic salvo, maybe a little bit on freezing some things or freeze chance somehow, it would help give me more survivability. But even then, I think I would have more damage. Because right now this one's kind of built for cold damage and I'm doing lightning instead. So I'm gonna have to make some changes to that too. It's just gonna be a while before I figure it out because it's very expensive. It costs like 200, 300k to respec my character, if not more. So that could be a couple hours of grinding and getting your levels, which is not good. It's not good.
That would only slow me down.
So I've been spending a little bit of time leveling up, but man, it takes a while. Sitting and staring at the show property window. Yeah. What are you looking at?
Time is of the essence.
Energy shield, lightning resist. That one's trash. That one's trash. Trash. That one said 50% something. Oh, increased hit, crit hit. Okay, I don't need it. So I'm trying to sell some items when I can. And get a little bit of money back. I'm mostly like decrafting everything that's gold. I'm ripping that apart that I'm not using. 48 monsters left. I don't really need to kill all of them, but where would they be? There's a section I missed? I was hoping there'd be like one elite mob left, and then I could get maybe some rare items. I don't think it dropped me a single rare in here. And I don't think it dropped me any waystones, which is kind of crazy. I don't even think I have a level. Oh, maybe over here? And maybe in this section? Because I think I'm going to have to do like level 2. There's probably some spots down here that I missed too in this section. I think you should get like a cookie if you complete the whole map. They should give you like a treat. Maybe like a gold chest appears or something. So you get a little extra for doing all of them. I don't think anyone would really take the time to finish the whole map just because of that. Most people get to like top 50 and then they're like, okay, there's only 20 things left, I'm out. And then they move on to the next one because they can farm faster and there's more enemies in those ones. So there's really no reason to stay around that long. Whew. And you can tell in the top right corner where it tells you how many players are left or how many enemies are left. But we're making progress. The character's stronger. I'm able to do these higher tier maps. I won't probably be able to do tier 15 maps for maybe a while. Just because. Just because 20%. Okay, no, I don't need that. It's got physical on it. That's pretty good, but it's low level. Maximum life, low roll, decent. Those are what you want, but not high enough level. Oh, I do have this one. I do have a tier 4. We can do that. So we gotta hope I get more tier 4 maps. We can always do the tower too. I feel like usually in each one, I tend to get 1 or 2. But it really, really varies. It's not always like a guarantee that you'll get a map, unfortunately. Another short bow. I can craft that one. I wonder what's going on with my mana. It wasn't that bad before, but maybe because my attack speed's higher now. Because of the quiver is becoming a problem. I do still have potions. And it doesn't seem like I ever use too much of the potion, which is good. But you never know. 25% crit, 20 to 36 physical. That's high. Mine's only 15 to 30. The dex requirement on this is outrageous though. 175, but I mean if you build a pure dex character, I mean you could use it. Next step for that bow, I would roll one of these on it. And just like that, it's broken. 1.36 for crit damage bonus. It's a high roll for crit chance, but it's a tier 1, so it's like boo. So I wasted a regal orb, which is not the end of the world. I get more regal orbs than I know what to do with. I'm gonna probably die right there. Oh, yeah, I forgot that shit blows up on me. Oh, we got a Val Orb. We got another Tear Stone there. That's not so bad. Been finding more Val Orbs. That's 2 in a row. At least we got another 2. Gloves are trash. I'll scrap that bow, or I'll craft it down into something else. Like I'll re-roll it with like I'll merge it or something. What is that guy? Why is he a ghost? Oh, he's invisible. Fuck. I don't like that. He goes invisible. That's crazy. Now if he explodes on death, oh, I'd be so mad. One thing I don't like is when you kill them, they do kind of explode. But the problem with them exploding isn't really a big issue. It's just that you can't see what the hell hit me. You can't see the on-ground effects. So if there's like somebody else that when they die, they'll have like a poison thing that spreads out or an explosive like cold spell on the ground. And then when you die, that goes off and you can't see it. So you'll be like, oh yeah, it's underneath all that. And then you walk over there and you get killed by it. Like that kind of drives me crazy. I do have to watch out for that one because that guy can kill me. I'm still a little fragile. I need the resistance upgrade for chaos resistance at some point. We're not quite there yet, but hopefully. The 2 bosses are down here. I need to kill both of them to move to the next map. There's actually 3 on my map right now. Yeah, the mana thing. I wonder if my attack speed's too fast because of the... I could fix that with the new mana ring. I wonder, can I get attack speed on a ring? I think I can. I'm pretty sure I can. But I'm probably going to need chaos resistance. Maybe physical damage on the rings. Max health, max mana would be huge. And then I'm not sure really what else I would absolutely want to have. But there's a few things. Crossbow, armor. I'll take a second here. 18 evasion, 10 energy. It's not bad. The cold resistance is cool, but I don't think I need that. Evasion's kind of low. Mine's 680 now. That one's junk. Increased physical damage, 55%. Yeah, it's tier 1, tier 2, tier 5. Not great. I'll keep it because I'm going to craft it down. 29 armor, 39% increased armor, 50 spirit, 60 thunder. Not great. High lightning damage on that. Not too bad, but it's decent. I thought it would be a little bit, I thought it was a little higher. I mean, it's still 38. That's not bad. You could roll that if you wanted to, but it's not fizz damage. It's not anything else, so I'd probably just junk it. So I'll sell most of this, and then... Actually, we'll just do that right now. That way I can use one of my waypoints and call it a day. But I'd say overall, like, the build seems okay. There's flaws. There's definitely flaws. But usually what I do with the bows... I have a rare dump in here where I just dump everything. But if I have more than one bow that's the same type, these two are a little bit different. I'll take them to the reforge station, and then I just reforge them. Like this one has 39 physical damage, 18 to 28 physical damage. So that's a decent bow. Somebody might want that. I could maybe try to sell it. The only problem with this bow is that the physical damage roll was low. So it's 40% instead of like 100%. But maybe like a low-level player would be like, yeah, I'll take that. You know, they might buy it from you. So you could sell it maybe for like an exalted. I don't know if it's quite worth it, but maybe to the right player, they'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll pay for that. In my opinion, probably not, because that 40% is a little too low. Now, what are you doing over there, buddy? Are you going to blow up? Yep, sorry, I made him blow up. But this effect right here, it's really hard to tell. Like when you kill them, it's hard to see if they have on-ground effects underneath their body. So it's nice that you know that you killed that person or you got that kill. And it's kind of cool when all the loot spills out. But the only downside is it's like, wait a minute. Is he actually still dead? Ooh, maximum mana. That's high. I don't think I need that belt, though. I need a new belt that has lightning, chaos, and more health and more mana. That's the only one I need. There's another boss right here that we're going to go to. I kind of cruise our way down there. I'm sure that there's a better build that I just haven't made yet that has better wave clear that's faster. I'm thinking like a full dex build and lightning with salvo and then focusing on crits maybe. With salvo. The only problem is mana becomes a problem because I'm constantly tabbing my potion. I still have enough to deal damage, but when I just use it so fast, like just constantly flood the field with those arrows, and then I call it in, use a potion, back up a little bit, call in more, spam more. But it does good damage. It splashes, so it does good wave clears. If you need to, you can call this stuff in, kind of keep them back a little bit. If they get frozen, call that in. And in these small areas, it works really well. I'm also wondering, like, if chain lightning would be better. I think that I might blow up. I'm gonna wait. Okay. The boss should be to my left here. Oh yeah. Hey, bud. I actually froze him. Yeah. I just want to make sure he doesn't fucking kill me on death. Okay, so that crypt's done. We didn't really get anything other than the level 2. We got a couple of rares. So it's kind of like slow progress. Slow and steady. But I can finish clearing this out and see if I get another. Because there's probably a few more elite mobs lurking around like that spider was. Oh shit. What the hell? That did so much damage to me. I think frozen builds would be really sick. Like, if you can really just freeze everybody. Oh man, it'd be so cool. Because they can't really attack you if they're frozen, right? So if you could mass freeze everything and then just come in and break and shatter, like, that'd be sick. There's a gold chest up there. I'll grab that. Like 40 monsters left, so there's probably not much. This probably links. Hey, what? Oh, there's a switch. That's new.
Stay light, stay alive.
I haven't seen that before. I was like, why is there no door? It was on the post. Try this section over here. Lunar amulet. Six to nine. Like, good numbers. Bad stats. That's fine. Getting ready for bed. Have you been playing all night, Jeff? Probably.
God, no pack space for that.
You guys gotta chill and quit playing this game that long. I should probably do the same too, but you know. Here I am playing it every day.
Take this!
Another bow. We can just roll that one for free, see what we get. I just find so much like basic bows, and it makes sense to do it. Like, if a basic item drops and you pick up a bow, and let's say you do that 100 times a day if you're like really farming like crazy, well, that's 100 chances to potentially, well, it's probably more than that, to get a roll that might give you, you know, more physical damage, more attack speed, and what other stat you're looking at, like percent physical damage. So I kind of just roll everything, and if I get something that has 2 stats that I like, well, even then, it's better. Even that separated quiver, I mean, you could waste your money on that too. There's another composite bow on the ground too.
Stay light, stay
Like
alive.
serrated, I should say serrated quiver. This bow, and then maybe that. 13 chance for bleed. I don't think it's that important, but you see if you can get like a high damage roll on there. So 2 to 48 lightning's decent. You could roll that and see if you could get something else, but honestly, I probably wouldn't bother at this point. I mean, it's kind of worth trying, but I don't know. I think the investment, because once you go past like a regal, it's like, well, do I want to regal everything I find? And then it's like, not really everything. So maybe if it has 2 good stats, then you do it. Because the problem there is if you get another stat on that one, you go, well, shit, do I like do a full? Like, do I go and I actually put more stuff on it, or do I call it a day and then, you know, leave it where it is? And that's kind of the problem. You bump into this situation of you either have too much stuff. I wonder what this is. I don't know if can I beat that one, or am I gonna get my ass kicked if I go here? Oh shit, I went through the portal. I didn't mean to do that. The portal, no. I'll just sell more items, that's fine.
Go on. Go on.
Okay, let's go back to the map. I could go do the tower one. We'll make our way there. Or can I do that now? I've never done a level 2 tower. Let's try it. I don't know what'll happen. The first one I went through and it wasn't a big problem. The second one, this will be interesting. It's kind of like what we were doing before. It's just a tower map, so like it's a different type of layout. And I think there's other stuff here too, like different loot. Maybe not loot, but like I think there might be a challenge or something. Maybe I'll have to fight like a boss or some shit. I don't know. We'll find out together. These guys are really annoying. The shades. I don't have any heals. That's odd. The shades are really annoying because what they'll do is they like run in on you and they kind of vanish and they float around like this ethereal format. Like so they're like see-through and you can kind of see where they're at, but then they spawn in and then they just fucking hit you. And it's just like, dude, like, like why? Like, I don't deserve that. And they just beat you up, and you don't know that they're there. And they can one-shot you if they have enough damage. So it becomes a problem. I'm not really a fan of those, to say the least. They're probably my least favorite ones. Could strip the sockets from that too.
Take this.
25 increased physical damage. It's a low roll. Leech is X amount of life, kind of a low roll. It has high strength on it, but you could roll that and see. You get 2 sockets on it for free. Got my witch to level 51 last night, changed around a couple skills, and now your butt are both running and tearing up everything. Nice, man. Like, I mean, that's the same position I'm in now. I'm getting better, like where I can kill these higher level maps. I'm gonna probably try to push it to like tier 15 at some point if I can ever get there. The hardest part is just getting those initial items for me to go like faster and get like more survivability. That's kind of the problem that I'm at right now. Is that my character's decent, it's strong, but those higher levels are way too tough, I think, for my current situation. But from where I was before, not being able to do like level 1, and now I'm doing, you know, level 5, and it's not a problem. It's a huge improvement, and that's just how it happens. It's gradual. What's the strongest DPS class in the game? Maybe, I don't know, maybe a mercenary or a sorcerer. Every class can have high DPS, but I feel like there's certain builds that are gonna just be broken where you're just dealing so much damage because of how stats work, and how the skills and passives all stack together. So maybe something like a sorcerer I could see being pretty strong. The mercenary seems to be very strong. They nerfed the ranger, and then they nerfed, I think, one of the sorcerers already, which is a pretty big change. You know, like early on. The monk has some crazy good DPS too, as far as I've seen. It's a character I want to build next. And I thought about maybe running through like the first act today, maybe do that as well. But the monk has an ability where you can kind of just fight a boss and you just start smacking the shit out of the bosses and you'll just melt them. Like just within like a second or two. And it's just like, whoa, like that's almost too fast. So I completed this map already. I'm going to finish looking around, see if I can kill any of these mobs and maybe find another waystone because I don't want to do a level 1 map. I mean, I'll do it, but I don't want to. It's going to be like my only option, but I wanted to find like a level 3 or something. But I think every character has potential to be overpowered, and it's so early now that we're not quite sure probably what the best build is. People have kind of figured out a lot of them. You know, the Rangers seems to be pretty popular. The Mercenary's very popular with the grenade build. Wuju, or whatever his name is, he uses the Explosive Ranger, like the crossbow one. And that shit is crazy. If you haven't seen the build, you should go look at it. I can even pull it up on stream. I think he's probably streaming right now. I was like, if you guys could stop blowing me up, that'd be great. I'm trying to, you know, damage this guy. Another bow. Interesting. The game likes giving me bows today. Woo! That lightning roll. Goddamn. 2 to 87. That's like a T6, T7 roll. That's almost max. It goes up to 93. That's high. You'd probably want to roll this one with a regal orb, just on the off chance you hit like a physical multiplier. Even if you hit like an elemental multiplier on that, you could probably sell it. 35 maximum life, cold. I mean, it's not bad. But I think one build that I wasn't gas and fire strong. For which character? For the mercenary? Any character, just a tank, like tank, doesn't die. I mean, your warriors are generally built to be tanky. But there's also a weird combination that you can do with, that I've seen that you can do with, how does it work? Energy shield. So there's like this little, these guys are so annoying. I need to kill this dude real quick. One sec. So there's like a little energy shield here, that like a little blue bar that fills up. I don't have any energy shield on this account because my character is based on evasion. So evasion works where if a player hits you, it's like 80%. Let's say you have 80% evasion. Well, that's 80% chance that they miss, like you dodge it. So that's a really good stat for a ranger. Now, something like a sorcerer has that ability to do energy shield. And energy shield can be built out in the skill tree, so you can stack your energy shield really high. And it absorbs and stops damage from, I believe, hitting you and like causing problems. So you can be somewhat tanky if you really build out your energy shield. But I'm sure there's a combination with just having crazy life, crazy armor on a warrior, and then you probably won't really die. The more life you have, the more armor, the more evasion you probably put on one of those builds would be really good. I mean, that's probably what I would suggest if you're going to do it that way, and you're just looking to be a tank. But I feel like at some point, just maximizing your armor and your health isn't going to help you win. And I think a lot of newer players do that, where they have so much health and they have so much armor, but they don't deal damage. So eventually they just get chipped down and then they die. So most players will build an offensive build with a decent amount of survivability, so they can run around the map, they can deal damage, and they don't really get killed. Mostly because they just do so much damage. If you can kill things before they can attack you, like, yeah, that's best of both worlds, right? That's what you want. But I think the monk has some pretty crazy stats on it too. Like, it has some good damage things that I've seen, where people just run up to a boss and just punch the shit out of it and it just dies instantly. That one might get patched. I think the ranger will, not ranger, but I think the other one will probably get knocked down a little bit. The mercenary. Oh, an emerald. I haven't found one of those for a while. This is always funny too, because sometimes you can glitch. You can start attacking them from across the way before they can actually get you. Skill gem. 6% increased damage with bows. Oh, it can go up to 16? I wonder, you could probably put that in something and get you crazy high stats. I don't know what I would put that in though. The quiver rolled low. 3 to 6 is really bad. But that other lightning bow, that has potential. There's like 39 monsters on this map, so they're probably back that way. I'm just looking for waystones at the moment. How do you have different colors for your drops? So there's a loot filter. If you go to your options, you'll have to download this. It's allowed. It's built into the game. So NeverSync's light filter is what I use. If you just search NeverSync Path of Exile 2 filter, it'll take you to his website and you can download it from GitHub. And it's like kind of like a text file almost. It'll come with a text file and then it'll, oh shit, you can't see it, the camera. Hot second. So it's under your options, under your game option, it says NeverSync. So you have to download that though. It's a custom filter made by another player, and he's done this for Path of Exile. They allowed him to do it. So when you install it, you'll just move a file over into your install file of your game directory, and then you just come in here and you click it, and it'll add that loot filter. And it basically filters out shitty items, items you don't really need. The colors change based on importance. I think there might be ways to customize that yourself if you want to, but they constantly update that filter too. So every month, every couple weeks, you want to go download it again. I don't think it automatically updates, but it's helped me just kind of like understand like, hey, this item that dropped, like for example, emeralds or this one, you know, you see them and you're just like, oh, those are kind of nice. But if I go to my options and I turn that off, it looks like this. So it's like, hey, is that a good item? Like, yeah, it's kind of like, I don't really know. But the loot filter, you immediately see the difference compared to stuff like this. Let me throw some low-level stuff out there and turn it off. So now you have random white items that aren't really worth a lot. You have blue items that aren't much. But this glass blowers or these orbs here. And then if you turn the filter on, you can immediately see like, oh, it draws your attention. It tells you, you need to pick this up. So you can use the loot filter. The loot filter is allowed. It's not a cheat. It's not a hack. It's installed into the game. All you do is after you install it from NeverSync or whoever else makes filters, there's multiple versions of this. You just go to your settings, you click this, and it turns it on, and you just run with it. So it's a really simple setup. It takes maybe like a minute or two to download it and then install it all together, and it improves the quality of your game by far. If you're a new player, it'll suddenly draw your attention to those items that you're not used to seeing. So I'd recommend that as well. Like, I would really recommend that. I need to make a command to hide my camera. That way I can do that on the fly when I'm streaming. Because there's sometimes in this game, I want to show you guys what's over here. And then I forget that hides that section of the screen. It used to be on the right side, and it hid the right side. I was like, oh, you guys can see what's in my inventory. It's not a problem. And I didn't realize I was hiding my inventory. So that's like, oops. That's half the fun with that build when you go in there like that. And just roll on in, use that arrow, pop out, escape, blow everybody up. It's super cool. I love it. I love it. No monsters left on the map, no portals. Spot above your mana for the camera. The only downside there is if I put it here, is if I try to show you the items I find, it'll cover those stats. So, I mean, you could stick it like right here, maybe. And I'd maybe shrink it, to be honest. I could probably do like this. Make myself small. But then I'm in the middle, and then it's like really rough, so I don't know. Like, what's too big for camera size? You know, that's the $1 million question. Ooh, I'm changing the wrong things. Like, what's too big, right? See, right there, you just cover the whole inventory. You put it here, but when you're in your stash, it fucks everything over. I think that's not horrendous. It's a little smaller than it was. That'll work. At least for now. And I'll figure something out later. Alright, let's go back to town. Let's clean this out. The more familiar I get with this build, too, the more confident I'm getting as far as, like, moving and maneuvering with it. It's a bit of a struggle, though. Like, there's moments that I make mistakes. That's normal. And shit happens. So that bow, I want to roll. I'll show you guys how that works. I don't want to roll the whole thing, probably, unless I get a really good stat. So, for me, what I'm looking specifically for on this bow, in order to make this bow like a god tier bow, you would need like 2 other stats. And the chances of you getting them are pretty rare. So it's kind of like, is it worth rolling or not? You have to use your regal orbs. You get regal orbs from shards. Every item that's a gold item, like these gloves or this bow, you can craft that down. You go and you vendor it, basically, where they will give you they'll sell it to you. They'll give you a regal shard in exchange, and it destroys the item. So you have to use one of these. And unfortunately, that's not still a bad bow. 28 to dexterity is low, but actually, no, that's not low. It's actually pretty good. So you could technically go up 1, and you could use an exalted orb on this if you wanted to, but I'm poor, so I don't have very many, so I'm not going to do that. But I'll just stick this in my inventory and look at it later. And you could probably sell it as is to somebody. Someone might buy that for like an exalted rune. Maybe. Like, it's probably not worth it. But if you were to roll percent physical damage, if you were to roll percent elemental damage on the bow, it would double it, maybe, depending on how high those rolls are. The dexterity is a bonus. You don't need it. It's not really a good stat to have on there, but it's a high roll, so it's something that helps. The attribute roll isn't great, but it could be for a specific build if you don't want to build a ton of dex. That might help somebody. But you want to get something like this, where it has this 130% increased physical damage, and then it has 15 to 30 physical damage. So it's taking the base value of the bow, multiplying that by 130. But I also put runes in this, which increase it by 40%. So it's a 170% increase to physical damage. That's a crazy high level of just damage increase, like just absolutely crazy. So you kind of want that if you can find it. That's the catch. Most of the time you can't find it. So you just have to get really lucky on what you roll. And what are these? Can be used in a completed tower on your atlas to influence surrounding maps. Tablets are consumed once into a tower. Maps in range are irradiated. Area has +1 monster level. 5 to 10 maps in range, +1 monster level. 3 to 8% increased pack size, so it gives you bigger monsters. We'll do it way tier, because I only have tier 2, because I only have tier 2s. I wish I could be doing tier 5s all day, but fuck, I went in the wrong portal. Do I have a link for the filter? Yeah, I can probably find it. Never sync. The only problem is I'm going to send you a link to GitHub, and you're probably going to be confused on how to download it. But this is the GitHub link for NeverSync's filter. And what you'll do is you basically, on that screen, when you want to download that, there should be a release somewhere. Where's it at? Wait, did he update it? He updated it three hours ago. Oh, update 5 days ago. But he has a README file in there, and it teaches you how to install it. And it's really simple. There's some instructions if you scroll down too. But you just have to download that file and move it to a certain directory on your computer. I know that sounds super dangerous and super sketchy, but like it's not a problem. Your bigger content creators use it, and they're fine. Like it's built into the game too. Like the devs let him do that. Like they added a section so you could turn it on and off. Like that's a pretty good confirmation that it's not crazy. I want to do a delirium run, but I don't think I'm strong enough to. I did one and I almost beat it. So I want to do it again, but I don't know if I can really get away with it. We could go this way and go to the towers. There's so much stuff I have to learn about this. Like I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I guess we'll figure it out. But yeah, the loot filter helped me a lot. What's up, Dina? How you doing? Been watching streams for a while. It's great to see you so involved in enjoying a game. Reminds me of the enjoyment knowledge I first saw on a Stelna page. No, I appreciate that a lot. That means a lot. It's good to actually, you know, wake up and want to stream and find games that I have enjoyed. I mean, I've been gone for a little bit. I'm sure you guys noticed. A lot of that is like me working on my ADHD stuff, trying to get my medication right for managing, you know, kind of my mood overall. And then also just trying to find motivation to find games that I want to stream, even if it's not like, you know, the best decision financially, but it's just, I'd rather stream something I enjoy than do nothing and then waste my day, right? And this game kind of is nice. It kind of gives me that feeling of something I actually enjoy. So I'm gonna keep doing that for a bit. I'll probably mix in other games too. Maybe like go back to Tarkov a little or something similar to Tarkov. I might die right here. I'm not ready for all those explosions. He dropped a short bow, some other stuff. But I might do some Delta Force and try to balance out, because I know Path of Exile ain't gonna pay the bills. If I want to do streaming full time, I'm gonna have to do some editing again, make some video content, and either shift all the way from what I'm doing now to something else, or go back to like playing COD. But I haven't really decided on what I want to do there. But I think it's just good that I'm at least doing something. Like, it's better than not streaming. That's what I would say. I'll put it that way. So no, I appreciate the support and even the fact you noticed. It's awesome. What is she doing? She's barking. Why are you barking, Lara? She's like, let me play. You can hear me chatting, and she wants to play. My dog is sitting somewhere back in the hallway. Oh, come on, Laura. I played with you earlier when I woke up. What do you mean? She's an attention whore. It's a corgi, so she's a little demanding. It also could be like the mailman or something walking by. She loves barking at the mailman. That's her favorite pastime. Oh my god, there's someone outside? I better bark. Nah, she really doesn't bark that much. But if somebody knocks, she usually lets me know too. Like most dogs. That's just kind of how they're meant. They're kind of like alert dogs, essentially. What is this bow? Ooh, fire damage. It's really low, though. How's it Monday already? Yeah, I forgot these guys aren't as strong. I mean, they can still kill me if they gang up on me and hit me all at the same time, or just have like a really unusual attack. But I should be able to clear this map fairly easily. Famous last words. I need more maps. Oh, there's a shrine here. You guys probably haven't seen these yet. Ooh, that poison damage. That's what I meant by like something could kill me. If I grab that, oh, do I have to kill everything? No, I got it already. So now I do lightning damage around me. Those little lightning sparks that are hitting next to me. That little icon above me.
Take this.
So every so often it calls in lightning and deals damage and kills things. It's kind of a buff. It helps me. So for the next like 35 seconds, I have that buff. So usually I try to run through monster piles and try to kill as many as I can. I want to keep the boots. Keep the bow. Bows, I mean, it's my main weapon, so it can make me really powerful. So I want to keep it if I can. The other thing is I want to find better ones. And if I find a really, really, really good bow, I can sell it for quite a bit. Not money, but in-game money. And then I can kit out my character for other stuff. So I'm just trying to find anything I can to upgrade my character to get me to those higher levels. Either I'm going to use it myself and save myself the in-game currency, or I'll sell it for something and then I can get better items like armor, gloves, boots, whatever. I need a better belt. I probably need to swap out my rings a bit to get more damage and then more resistances. I got to fix my... I could probably do some resistance rings and get my resistance all the way up. Can I see my talent path? Yeah, I can show you. So I'm kind of in between. My path is kind of fucked up because I stole my build from 2 different creators, and it's kind of a hybrid, and I haven't really fixed it yet. It's very expensive to respec. I saw another build that was using what I'm using, and I was like, man, this is very similar. And I was like, let me try to spec into what he's using, and maybe it would be better for me. And when I did that, it wasn't as great. And I was like, okay, there's some issues that I had with my build that I needed to fix. So I changed the skill tree thinking that would do it. And that didn't help. So I changed my skill gems back to what they used to be. And I'm using his passives. And it actually works for me. It worked a lot better than before. So let me run to town real quick and I'll pull it up. So I'm kind of have like a hybrid build. It's not optimized and I need to go back and optimize it more. But for some reason, it's still working. Which is interesting. Let's get rid of that. The accuracy roll is good, but everything else sucks. Fire damage is okay, but it's not worth it. Actually, no. Hold on. Nope, now it's not worth it. Oh, life per kill is high. I mean, you could roll that, but there's no reason to. 2 to 8 lightning. 23% physical damage. No, it's the stat I want, but it's not high enough. Lightning resistance is too low. So when it comes to my passives, what's the button for that? Is it G? It's P. I have Deadeye here. I need to go do my ascendancies and get more of these. I just don't want to do them because they're annoying. But I copied a build that came out recently, and that's what his passives are set at. So his passives do projectile damage, increased mana recovery, more accuracy, more whatever. But his build is meant for more like elemental. But all these still complement my current build. This one increases your quiver bonuses. So I have a very, very good quiver. And if you learn this path, it basically doubles or triples, like, well, not really doubles, but it's like almost a double of what your quiver damage does and boosts it. So it'll give you 10% increase based on whatever you have on your quiver, another 10%, a 30% increase. So that's like 50. This is 15. This is another 15. So that's a huge thing to build into. And then he went a different route. He uses shock, which is what I use as well. You use all your rods, and then you use a skill to set those rods off, and they explode, and they deal multiple damage. So I use magnetic salvo, so this helps because it increases elemental damage. It increases the shock. Now, shock itself is an effect on something, and if you shock something, it does more damage. So it can take more damage while it's shocked. So it's an ailment, and when it hits, it targets take 20% increased damage when they're shocked. So you get a 20% damage increase if you shock everything. So that's what you really want. He has some cold skills built into this one because he uses like ice salvo and the arrow as well too. Attack speed, That way you can put more rods down. You can use more attacks. I have some intelligence stuff here that I don't like. But I want to rebuild this into being more of a damage thing for salvo. And then also more for like the rods. This is probably not optimized. For his build, he does pretty well. And I think it's good. But I ran out of skill points. And then I need to go back and readjust this. Because there's a lot of things that I don't have learned. He had this stuff learned, which increases your critical damage bonus. So he's really relying on crit hits to do more damage. But his build also relied on a lot of intelligence. So that's why I have all these intelligence nodes here, which I don't like. I'd rather be more of a dex build. They use different... they use like the Ice Herald and some other stuff too. And his build's pretty good. But I feel like there's a way you can use ice to freeze and stop enemies, but then you can also get bonuses more so and like have just more raw damage into salvo. So basically make projectiles elemental rain damage. Yeah, and he had another ability on one of his rings, which was interesting, and I don't have that, but it converts all your lightning damage to cold damage. So that's what he was doing. And for me, I was like, I don't know if that's the best build, because I do pretty solid damage with Lightning Arrow and Lightning Rod. And then, you know, you throw Salvo on top of it, which just procs all those rods to do crazy damage. But I had an issue where my attack speed wasn't high enough, and my overall damage just felt lacking. So I went back to my old gemstones and my old build, and I kept his passives, and the passives actually worked on my old build. So I was like, okay, this is weird. Like, it feels more confident for what I have, and I feel like part of that's maybe the skill gems are better, or for me being more of a dex build, but I haven't really deep dived it yet. So when I get enough cash, I'm probably going to respec my whole thing and try to maximize maybe crit damage with salvo, attack speed, and just try to get everything for lightning and just do more of a dex build instead of relying on you know, because his does more elemental, which I guess you'd want to do elemental and you'd want to do damage for lightning, but you'd also want raw damage as well. So more lightning skills, more crit hit chance. But it's not wrong, I don't think. It's just I'm wondering what the best stat output... Oh, by the way, we leveled. It's just so fucking expensive to respec. Like, it would take all my gold to do it, and if I do it wrong, it's like, well, now I'm stuck with a build that doesn't hit as hard. So I want to wait, probably have like 2-3 million in the bank, and then do it that way. So you basically make projectile elemental ranger. The reason you do that, the main reason you're doing that, all your physical damage gets converted to elemental damage. So you lose some with electric. I think you lose like 20% depending on the skill you're using. I'd have to look. There's one of them on here. Converts 40% of physical damage to lightning damage. That's with your like little shooter here. What is it called? Lightning arrow. Lightning rod converts 100% of physical damage into lightning damage. So every time you put this shit down, and then you use magnetic salvo, all your physical damage becomes lightning damage. So you're getting a huge buff. That's why it's so important on these guys to have physical damage. Like, you want physical damage on your bow, you want physical damage on your gloves, you want physical damage on your rings, you want physical damage on your butthole. Like, you want physical damage coming everywhere, okay? Like, you want it as much as possible because it's your raw base damage, and that amplifies everything. So the more physical damage you have, the more additional, like I have 13 to 22 fire on gloves. That helps. Would it be better if it was lightning? Probably, but it's still more damage. So you just want more damage modifiers. Physical is your priority. Everything else is kind of like, well, if you get more, you get more, but you probably want more lightning damage on everything. Your quiver, for example, this one's an insane quiver. I found this yesterday. I rolled it myself, and now it does 15 physical damage, 25 lightning damage. The bigger bonus on this is 40% bow skill increase. So any bow skill I have does 40% more damage. It also has increased attack speed, which is really ridiculous. So I do even more because I can attack faster. It just amplifies everything. So you're stacking everything from physical all the way down to elemental. And you can do that through all your skills too. All your skills stack as well. Like all your passives also build into that. So you'd be surprised like how much you can do, but that's going to be almost every build you make. You're going to have to find a way to chain everything to do that level of damage. With elementals on this account, that's just what it does. I might die right there because they're crazy fast. Why are they not dead? Wait, can I not kill them? Are they like fucking immortal? Like, or are they his buddies or something? Oh fuck, chaos damage. Oh yeah, I can't kill him because it's that guy. I can easily die here, by the way. I told you. I got stuck. I was trying to move, and I literally got stuck as I was trying to attack him. So that's the only downside of the magnetic salvo build. And my character right now, there's 2 ways I can improve it to make sure that doesn't happen. My bow can have a faster attack speed on it, but I don't have the stat. I just haven't rolled one yet. My gloves can have a faster attack speed, but I haven't rolled it yet. But the problem is that if I want attack speed gloves with all my resistances, all my damage, they're like 30 exalted orbs each. So it's very, very expensive for me to go buy those items. I just don't have the money to do it. Like, it's just, I don't have the in-game currency because they're just so rare. So it would make me weaker if I went with a weaker bow or a weaker item just to get the attack speed. It could potentially work in my favor, but then I wouldn't have the resistances I need, so my survivability goes down. And it's like, well, you just either have to farm enough or maybe just get lucky enough to get an item to gradually get you to that level. So I think my priority right now is getting better gloves, better bow, but I don't really need a better bow because it's a little bit too powerful already, but it could be better. A better belt for survivability, get more resistances, but my resistances are almost all maxed. I just need chaos, and then I need a little bit of lightning, I think, is my other one. That's the struggle one. But I can fix that with rings. I can fix that with a bow. But again, those can be kind of expensive too, because if you want to have certain stats on your bows, on your rings and amulets, at some point, like replacing one of my current ones gives me mana, max health, and it's like 100 each. And then it has resistances on there. That ring is pretty expensive, and I found it, and I crafted that one. So I don't know how I'm going to find a replacement, let alone a second one. I might die right there because of that poison bullshit. But overall, the build's not bad. I'm just squishy, you know? I need to get my evasion rate to be a little higher, too. It's only sitting at like 50, so that's not good either. I'd want it more at like 70 if I was lucky. But that becomes expensive, too. Like, the hard part is I'm going from having an item that has 4 stats on it, and I got to get stats that match that 4 stats and that they're better. And then I need to get 5 total. So it's like going from 4 to 5 is rough. And then going from 5 items or 5 stats on an item to 6 that all benefit you is you just hit a wall, like where you just don't find them. The drops don't really come in as frequently. You don't really get as much as you want. Increased arrow speed, that's a default. Projectile speed. That's kind of interesting. That's like 25%. 81 to maximum life. That's actually good. But now it's kind of junk. Low physical damage roll. Low crit roll. Not good. 10% increased spell damage. 10% increased chance to ignite. It's kind of a half-half right there. I've been finding more gems. I'm not sure when they're going to come into play, like when you would start putting those into your gear. I guess you could do it whenever, but I don't know what's going to be the best ones, because I found so many that are just different. I found one that does bow damage, which is interesting. I think I found one for physical. There's probably a gem for like attack speed or something that's going to be very valuable. Or maybe just raw physical damage would be better. I don't know how high they scale. But the main things I need right now are a better belt, slightly better gloves, a nicer amulet. One of my rings is actually a negative for me. It helps, but it hurts me. I get 30% more damage total with this ring, but it reduces my maximum life by 20 and reduces my global defenses by 20. So it's actually a great ring for damage, but it's not a good ring for anything else as far as survivability. So I think if I ditch that by getting a maximum mana ring, a physical damage ring, and a max health ring, that would be better. It's just I gotta find one, and they're expensive. Because I'd also want resistances on there, like Chaos Resist and something else. Because I'm not sure where else I'm going to get my resistance from. Maxing Chaos Resist is going to be really important later on, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Max life rolls low. Wonder what this one is. Oh, more life regeneration. A high roll. It's almost 3. It's almost perfect. So it's like 8% life per second. I mean, it's a T3 roll, so it's not crazy, but I'll probably just chuck it. Can I see my skills? I can show you, yeah. Let me not die here. But yeah, I'll show you when I can. What I'm using is a magnetic salvo to clear. And then I'm using lightning rods to put all those rods down. And then magnetic salvo goes in and props. It starts that reaction to where everything blows up. Let me just go into town and sell this real quick. So here's the thing. Skill wise, you won't see the first one. I'll try to keep it to where you can. Lightning arrow, lightning rod, storm caller, herald of thunder, freezing salvo, voltaic mark. I have escape shot. I need to put some stuff in here. I just haven't done it yet. Magnetic salvo, rain of arrows is an old one I used to use. I was kind of in between testing that and using the ice salvo right now, freezing salvo. I'm not quite sure which one's better. This one does more damage because my build's better, but I like the idea of freezing targets. Now, Rain of Arrows, you can use Pin, which allows you to like stop an enemy. Like it sticks them, like they get stuck in the ground, and then Maim as well. But I found that I think using Freezing Salvo on top of using like your, what's that one? Escape Shot helps, because when you shoot that out, you can freeze them, and then you can use the other one to kind of keep them frozen or cover a bigger area. But it's kind of a hybrid. It's like I'm experimenting. I still need to upgrade this. I just need to put some actual stones in there, some skill gems, but I just haven't. I'm not sure which way I want to go with it yet. I'm kind of on the fence of like, well, do I respec it back to what I used to have or use what I have right now? And that's where I'm not sure. So I don't like it. It's touchy for me on trying to figure it out. Used when bleeding. I think I already have that one. Don't need another one. But from what I found, there's just not a lot of builds right now for the Ranger post-patch. They're kind of like these mix and match ones where it's just people have these decent builds, but they're kind of not sure where they're going, I think is the best way to explain it. And I'm in the same boat. It's like, well, do I do a magnetic salvo build just across the board? 22 to 37 physical damage. That is a insane damage bow. We'll buy that one. What's this one? 47. You need a percent roll on this one. If we get a percent roll, 15% attack speed, that's crazy high. I'll roll that one for funsies. I do this every time I level up. I go look through the shop and I try to see what they have in here that might help me or might hurt me. You can find some rare shit, like 15% increased attack speed on the bow. That's great. I can maybe get some other stats in there if I roll it. And if I hit like a damage roll, it's GG's. And then I can just roll it even again and see if I get something else that helps. This one kind of sucks, but those two are worth it. What about gloves? This is also how I got really good boots one time too. Like this one's close. This is actually a really good boot. Holy shit. The only issue on that is the resistances are low, but the max life, max mana, 38% evasion, that's good. It has more evasion rating than my current ones. The only issue is you don't have movement speed on them. But you'd be surprised. Cold resistance. 1 to 3 fire damage. Boo. But sometimes you just find something in here that's like a god roll. Like you could take this fire boot, for example. It has 28 fire. The strength requirement's high, but you could roll it one more time and see if it gives you like 60% increased armor. I don't think I need that, but it's a T4 and a T5 roll. So that's not for me, but maybe for a warrior, you could roll that again and see if you get more resistances. But you want movement speed. Like this one has maximum life at 111. That's crazy. So you would want like max mana, a physical damage roll on here, something else. So you try. Okay, gain 2 life. Well, trash. Not good. But at least you got a free roll out of it. 20, what's that? Fire resistance? But every time you level, the shop changes. They get new items. So I always kind of try to go in here and snipe one, like that bow, or these 2 bows. Those have potential to be really, 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 really ridiculously good. The odds are not good, but there's potential. And it costs me nothing to really check it out. Like, it's very cheap. Lightning resistance. Looking for more evasion and other stuff. This one, 30 fire, and not really what I need. That has a lot of armor. 1,400 armor. That's crazy high for armor. The fire resistance on that's not bad. If you could roll max life, somebody might want that. You might also probably want to have more resistance on there too, though. Like a cold or lightning resistance. But that actually is kind of impressive. 1,400 armor. Like, that's crazy high. 88. It maxes at 91. And then the armor roll itself plus armor is 191. You could maybe even buy that and sell it. But let's see what we get for the bow here. Let's actually do it this way. I don't have any other runes right now, so I can't really go further. Alright, let's do the attack speed bow first because I'm scared. I don't want to do it the other way. So, increased attack speed. 2 to 4 physical damage. So that bow's kind of fucked. The attack speed's great, but we got a low physical roll, so it's trash. This one has crazy high physical damage. It's a very high roll. Unfortunately, it maxes out at 37 instead of going to 50. So it's just one above the lowest, but the highest there is 22, 31. So it's not bad. It's higher than what I currently have. It's just, can I get a % physical damage on there? No. So this one rolled a T1. You could, if you want to, use a Regal on it. And then now I have cold damage. So this bow has a lot of potential now. It's a T7 roll, T8 roll. And if you want, you would try to roll the next 3 items as % physical, attack speed, and something else. The double physical on there. So this bow is decent right now, but it can be godly if you get that high physical roll. The only problem, I got 1 exalted orb, and I don't really want to use it. So I'm going to wait. So I'll leave that bow there. I'll sell these. These gloves, you could roll that and see if you get something decent there. The maximum life's high, but I don't really care. Not really what I need, so I'm just going to trash most of this. But that's the idea. You're just farming those stats, and you're just trying to increase it however you can. Like that bow, if it rolls 130 plus on there as well, that bow will do 400, 300 damage. Which would like double my current damage. It would be insane. But how did I get that bow? All I did was go to the vendor, and he had one available. So it's like you should always check the vendor. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to get good stats when you roll the item, but you'd be surprised how often people change their gear out of what they find at the vendor. Vendor and gambling, I think, are probably one of the two best ways. Gambling is really hit and miss, but if you get a good base out of gambling, you can do the same thing. And I've done that. I've gambled. One of the boots that I gambled had it had 3 resistances after I crafted it, and they're almost all above 30. The only problem is it doesn't have movement speed on it. So the boot is probably worth like 5 or 10 exalted orbs at its current state, even without movement speed, because it gives you so much resistance on one item. But if I were to chaos orb it and then it didn't delete anything and then added movement speed, that boot would be worth like, I don't know, 50 or 100. It'd be absolutely ridiculous. The chances of that happening though are like 0, so I'm not gonna do it. But that's the idea, is like you just kind of look for ways to get better gear, and those are like the only real ways outside of just getting lucky and finding a gold item on the ground that has really high stats. But if you're crafting all the time, you maximize the odds. Like I found another bow here. This one's a basic bow. 58% increase. It's a low roll. It's a T1 roll. So you just check it. And it's like, okay, that's trash. So I know it's trash and I'll get rid of it. But if I do that all day, I might find like 1 or 3 bows, maybe 5 bows in a day that have the potential to be very good. You know, so if you play a lot, you can find way better items just by rolling everything, and it doesn't cost you. Like I find so many of these orbs all the time just to get those free rolls. So it makes sense to do it. And I just think a lot of new players they just don't do that with basic gear. Even I'm like level 73 and I still do it with basic gear because you never know. You know, what are the odds that I roll a bow that has like 150% increased damage and then it drops like a crazy like 30 to 50, you know, damage modifier on it? If I did that, well, suddenly I have a very good bow. So it's just 2 modifiers that I need. I don't really need the rest. The rest could be a bonus. But if I get those main 2, my bow is already better than this current one. As far as damage output. So the odds are pretty good, at least at least I think. I only need 2 stats on the bow to be very good. The rest, if I get lucky enough, it'll give me attack speed and some other stuff too, but probably not. But there's no crime in trying. Oh, I was gonna buy ID scrolls. I like IDing items in there because I usually throw shit out. I know I can come back here, but I only have so many portals, so I can only do it 6 times. I got a level 5 map we can do again now too, after this one's finished. It sells level 1s. I need to go back here.
Take your time.
I got distracted by the shop vendor when he had that sick item. Okay. I also need to go check the other shop vendors too. They might have other items as well. So you can check like one shop vendor, but go to like a different town and check there. You'd be surprised.
Charged arrow. I don't have enough mana.
I could also be rolling like boots and gloves when I find them too. Rings as well. Amulets, but I don't find very many of those. Superior Warden Bow. Ah, mana per enemy killed. Boo. I mean, the odds of you getting like the super high rolls are shit, but like you never know. This one has item quality on it, which is interesting. I need to learn more about how that works. Quality grants small bonuses to an item depending on the type of item. Martial weapons gain 1% more physical damage per quality. Armor gains 1% more defense per quality. Rings and amulets have a number of possible quality types that provide bonuses to specific modifiers. So you can increase the physical damage of your bow the higher the quality is. I think it goes up to 20. So if you had a bow like this and you increase the quality on it, or if you could, you can add an additional 20 physical damage, which would be 50 physical damage. That'd be kind of cool. No. I'll keep the bow and I'll sell it. Oh, there's a boss down there. I need to go the other way.
Storm point.
But even then, like, you can find gloves too, and you can do the same situation here. And be like, all right, what about the gloves? Not good. Still not good. They're all T1 gloves. But, I mean, that's the idea. You just craft everything, loot for everything, try to find what helps you. But I need to get to the higher level maps, because then I can probably start finding even better gear too, just by default. The more monsters I kill, the more waves I clear, the faster I kill the waves, the more likely I'm going to find better higher tier loot to begin with. And the higher level I am, you know, just increases everything. But the hard part is getting to those levels where you can kill everything easily and survive. That is the struggle. You salvage items with quality to get shards to increase your own gear. You can. A magic find ring. Can't see one of those for a minute. Oh fuck! I didn't realize it was that guy.
Out of mana. Quick and lethal.
I'm surprised how many bows I'm finding though. Ew, a T1 roll or T2 roll, I should say. Ew, a T1 roll. Ew, it's gross. It's better, but I don't need it. 202 mana. Is that good? That's pretty high. I just don't know if you need that. So it's like, do I just junk it? I feel like you do. 12% increased evasion rating, 6 chance to poison hit. I need to learn more about the gems too. 7 to 20 physical damage. God damn. That's high. That's almost a perfect roll for physical damage. I wonder, I'm going to do less damage with that. Yeah, a lot. That's why I keep this ring, because I do a lot. But it kills my health, and it kills my ability. Yeah, I haven't learned much about the gems yet. Like, I'm still new to this. This is the first Path of Exile I've played, but right now I've leveled up to level 71, so I've learned a lot. I'm making progress. I don't know how good the gems get. I have found a rare one before, like a gold one, but I was a lower level, so I don't think it's really anything special. But it seems like gems can be kind of crazy. Or it has the potential to be very crazy. Like, I think if there's like an attack speed gem, GG's. Or maybe like more physical damage as well. Or a unique stat that you can just throw onto your build that just helps you a lot. That would be really impressive.
Take this.
I'm sure I'll find and figure them out later. I guess the better question is, can you take gems out of things after you put them in, or are they stuck? Kind of like the runes. Man, I'm finding so many bows today. Holy Fuck. 15, 18 fire damage is okay, but it's not great. 5 to dexterity, it's a trash bow. Ew, rough. What I'm really after when I'm doing this is gold. I think you can remove, but it costs. Okay, so I know you can't remove runes. But I know you can't... I don't know about gem sizes. Like, I wasn't sure.
Yes.
None of these bows are worth rolling. The fire damage is cool, but it's low. Physical damage on that's terrible. Ugh. So gross. That's an interesting ring, though, because of the magic find. But it's not like... I don't think you need it. You could roll that again and see what you get. I mean, the 20 physical is pretty high, so I feel like I should just hold on to it and then maybe see if it's worth something. I probably won't do anything with it. But you can easily sell stuff, too. There's a new website for trading that runs through the game. It's really, really convenient, too. I didn't know it was a thing and how it worked until... I knew it was a thing, but I didn't realize how you can sell your items. It's super convenient. You just have a premium tab, you make it public, and then you put an item in there, and you set a price on it, and then people can go on the website and search for it, and then they DM you, and they send you a party invite, and it highlights the item when you want to buy it, or whichever one they bought, and it just gives it to them. Like, you meet them in the lobby and hand it over, and it's just like, oh, that was really fucking simple. Like, it wasn't complicated, wasn't you know, an issue. They show up, and then you put the item in the trade window, and then they see it, and they're like, hey, that's what I want. And then you look at what they gave you, and then sure enough, it worked. So it was a lot more painless than I thought it would be, and it's really cool that that's kind of built in. Because I'm sure people want to trade, and the fact that they made it that way is so much easier. Because you can find items in a faster way, you can do it easier, but I also feel like they needed to do that as a company, because otherwise people are going to make third-party companies, and then they don't control it, which is a concern. Try not to get stuck right there because I can die. That cold damage. Having any issues loading maps. My friend said they are mapping and they say there's a 30%. Yes, I have had an issue. One of them was where I clicked the map, it would send me to the title screen. So as soon as I went into the portal, it kicked me out to the title screen. Like I disconnected, essentially, is kind of like what it looked like. And I was like, well, that's weird. So I went back, loaded in again, and I disconnected. And it just kept doing it over and over and over and over. And the only way to fix it is to like close your game. And then when you do that, the map is gone. And you just have to start over. That guy might kill me here. He's doing poison damage on death. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't have a lot of chaos resistance, so they fucking suck. That's one thing I want to upgrade is my chaos resistance, so I'm a little less deadly. I don't die as much. Archer is definitely the easiest to solo with. Game was really enjoyable with a partner. Yeah, if you're struggling and you have somebody to play with, it's a lot easier because you can kind of gang up. But the only thing I would say there, though, is it sucks if your teammate dies. Because sometimes there's times you're fighting a boss and your teammate might die, and then now you're left fighting the boss by yourself, and you might not be strong enough to kill the boss, right? That's something you kind of run into. Ew, that one's not good either. Well, this map's complete. I can go do that level 5 map next to... There's only 16 monsters left. Well, might as well call it a day and move on to the next ones. Think I'll wait to map. I'll just make new characters. I thought about that too. I kind of want to go back and I want to build... I'm not sure what I want to build. Like, do I build a grenade mercenary, or are they going to patch that? Or do I build a monk? And then at the same time, like, are they going to patch that one too? Like, that's a concern. Oh man, those are good. Those are good. 78 to maximum mana, 29 lightning resistance. If you want to waste regal orbs on something, you could do it on that. But I'm not sure how I'm feeling about it.
Of course.
This is gonna be my junk drawer for now. Area contains 13 additional packs of beasts. That's kind of cool. We'll do a tier 5, see if I can get more tier 5 stones. I've had a hard time finding the stones for maps. I usually complete them and they don't drop me other maps. And it bothers me. I don't like it. But I don't know, overall I like the game. Like, I really do like this game. Maps are interesting. I can see how people might get bored of them, but it's all stat grindy. Like, that's the idea with this game. You want to grind stats, you want to get better gear, you want to get better loot, well, you got to kill things. And then the other part is, a lot of this, you know, you can build new characters and you can farm gear for them with your higher level ones. And then you can kit them out faster, and then you have more stuff, and it's easier to get better gear and better loot and progress. Those guys will probably kill me. And if I stay far enough back, maybe not, but I don't have chaos resistance right here. And they just bombard the absolute shit out of me. Like, they're weak enough, I can easily kill them. It's just standing in front and dodging them so I don't get hit with like 4 hits at once. I guess I could charge him and freeze him. That's always an option. Oh, hey. I keep forgetting this is a level 5 map, and I'm just kind of like running forward. I just need more resistance for chaos. I need a little bit more lightning resistance. I need more evasion. That's another thing I need to bump up. And then overall, max health, max mana, a little would help me too. But I just gotta find those items. So here we are. It's always something, right? Like, I need the next thing for the next level, and once it drops though, and once you get it, it usually increases your power so much that it makes it to where you can just go into like a higher tier, like so much more. Like, you jump a couple levels, which is really, really awesome. And then you can start farming even higher than you thought. You're like, oh, I'll maybe be able to do tier 6 maps. And it's like, nah, you can probably skip to tier 9. Just getting there. I think this is actually a decent build. I need to change a couple settings, but yeah, I think it could be a lot better. So far, it's been doing pretty good. I don't know if I want to build a sorcerer next or something else. I need to get out of there. How did you get back there? He's probably gonna explode on death too. I finally got an exalted today. I haven't really found too many of those. I mean, yesterday I found so many. Where do you guys keep coming from? I think once my attack speed goes up a little too, that'll make a huge improvement. I'm on wager I use Firewall to ignite, spam gas arrow. What stats do you think I should prioritize to get the most damage out of Firewall and ignite? I'm not really familiar, but if it's the same base, it's probably the same how lightning damage works. I think like your main thing for damage, at least from what I can tell, at least being a ranger, you want to have more physical damage. The higher physical damage you have, it converts into other damages. At least that's what I thought happens. 30% charm, 8% accuracy rating. That's another emerald. So the more physical damage you do, the more elemental damage you do is a bonus as well. But I'd have to look at like the actual skills and what they do. But I'm not super familiar with it. It's kind of a complicated thing, but the main thing, like for me, if I look at my skill tree, lightning rod, for example, lightning rod converts 100% of physical damage to lightning damage. So the more physical damage I have, the more lightning damage I do because it's converting it. But if I look at like a lightning arrow, it converts 40% of physical damage to lightning damage. So my lightning arrow doesn't do, you know, it does a smaller amount of damage, only 40%. But yeah, that's the idea. Like you really want to have, you just want to stack your physical damage. So the main thing that'll probably benefit you, physical damage, elemental damage, attack speed on gear as well. Like, so if you have attack speed on gloves, if you have attack speed on your rings or whatever, I think you can get it on rings. If you have it on your weapon itself, on the bow and the quiver. So my bow needs an upgrade. It's a really good bow, but it doesn't have attack speed. My gloves, decent gloves, but it doesn't have attack speed. This one here has attack speed on my quiver. So it's like, okay, that helps. So the more attack speed, you're getting small bonuses. Chaos bow bad. I wouldn't say so. It really depends on the stats. Chaos bows do chaos damage, which is like poison damage, essentially. So I don't think it would be bad. There is a bow that you could get that is a really good bow. It's just finding one. So my bow doesn't do it. But there's a second one. I don't know if I still have one somewhere. Like these bows. These bows fire an additional arrow. I don't know if you can see it. You find these in Act 2. They're called the dual string bow. A dual string bow gives you more damage because it fires 2 arrows. So if you can find that bow with like these stats, higher, like a % increased physical damage, plus physical damage on top of it, plus attack speed, plus skills, that would be an incredibly good bow. And you get the additional arrow. So it would do more damage than this one. But I haven't found one yet because they're super rare that have like the same high stats. Oh, I think it just kicked me out of the map. I hope not. It should load back. It should be fine. But yeah, you've been a machine the last few weeks. Up, Blaze? How you doing, man? I've been streaming this a lot. A lot. Like, this game owes me money. They should be paying me because I'm playing it too much. It's kind of a problem, actually. I need to go get a job. Ugh. Oh, I need to grab heals while I'm here. But you're really, I think, for any base build, the more damage you do, the better. But you also need to prioritize your resistances. That way you don't die. Because resistances are like a deduction. So if I have 50% fire damage, like resistance, and somebody hits me for 100, it only does 50. So it's like a straight across the board deduction. So survivability is going to be a big one later on. If you're in the campaign, you want to increase them, but it's not like the end of the world. They'll help. Like, they'll absolutely help during boss fights and things like that. But early on, your gear is kind of like meh anyway. God damn. That fucking death effect, dude. A level 2 mace. Interesting. A tier 2. I haven't seen a tier 3 yet. I haven't found one yet. I've only found tier 2s. They probably don't drop. At least where I'm at. But the other part, it's more complicated, and that's why this game is kind of like chaotic. You have to understand how weapons work. You have to understand how, like, there's so many layers. But it is easy once you learn it. It's a lot easier to understand. Like, you have to understand the gear values of how those apply to your damage. You have to understand how the skills that you put into your weapons, or like your skill gems, work and applied more damage. And then you have to look at the skills themselves to see what skills layer on top of the next one and the next one. And not only that, you got to go look at the passive tree. And you're like, oh, fuck, I got to go to the passive tree and look at this shit and figure out which ones help me where. You can search, too. Like, if you do, like, a poison build, you can type in poison, and it'll highlight anything on your map that does poison. If you want to do, like, attack speed, you can do that, and you can see that you get 3% melee speed. It should highlight some other ones, like 8% attack speed, more attack speed on this area, more attack speed down here. So if you want to have more attack speed for certain builds, you can do that. Highlights this here as well. But if you want to do, like, projectile damage, you can type projectile damage in, and it'll highlight everything here. Deals 12% increased damage with hits against enemies further than 6 meters, 12% against enemies within 2 meters. You can see more damage multipliers. So it's a lot easier to search that way and find things, too, that might help your build. But if you don't understand it, it's complicated. 10% crit in the passive tree only adds 1% on skills. Ooh, that's rough. I don't think crit, like, percent chance matters, because I think it does at a certain point. But I think, like, crit percent chance is kind of, like, misleading, because you're like, oh, I have really high crit damage. But it doesn't really matter unless you're applying crits all the time. So your base damage also needs to be higher, like way higher, because you'll get more damage in the long run. And then when you do crit, it'll crit for more because your base is so much higher. I think that's another thing that I think people kind of make mistakes on, is they don't realize that either. And I was the same way. Back in Diablo, there was when I used to play Diablo a lot, you know, crit was like a really good stat in certain ways. Like, you're just like, I want to have the most crit I can have. Oh shit. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. He's so angry. Why is he so angry? Oh, he's gonna blow up. That's just his shield, I think. I'm gonna try to freeze him. There we go. Alright, that was a level 5 map. That wasn't bad.
Stay light, stay alive.
And we're back up to 300k. I'm not making money, though. Ugh. I want to see the mace, too. 20 to 32 fire damage is okay. Not great, though. I'll probably sell it. Ew, that one sucks. 19 to accuracy. Not good either. Low maximum life roll on that one. Physical damage on that. That could be interesting, but I don't really think I need it. 16% chaos resistance. Is that high on a belt? That could be interesting. Now, tier 2. I think everything on here is going to be tier 2 or above is how that works. So when you find an item that says tier 2, when it's unidentified, it'll give you stats that are tier 2 or at a minimum. If not, it'll go above it. So you can get it kind of increases your odds of getting an item that you would want. The only problem is I didn't get a map out of this. I might need to clear the rest of it. I'm gonna go sell these. I wish there was a target dummy if it would solve a lot of your problems. It would, right? Because then you can see like how your damage works. But yeah, they didn't really do that. This bow, and the fire damage is okay. It's almost max. 21 out of 33, and it's 20 and 32. But I don't think it's good enough to really roll it. That one's definitely not. This belt is interesting to me because of the chaos resistance. I'm gonna stick it in my stash and look at it later. And I'll craft a lot of this stuff down too. I'll get rid of that stuff when I can. And then random trash pile for now. I don't want that one. I need to go back in that map and clear out the last few waves. See if I can get a tier 4, tier 5 stone. Have a good one, Mark. Thanks again, man. Have a good one as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I think this is a dead end over here. Yeah. There's only 50 monsters left, so there might be a few elite mobs around. Maybe one of them will drop me a waystone. I'm kind of struggling to get like level 5 waystones. I just don't see them. I have a lot of level 2s, level 1s, I should say. Finding the other ones are like non-existent. I'm also trying to think of what I'm gonna do weapon-wise. Or ring-wise. I need to get my resistance for poison up. I'm thinking about just replacing a ring to get chaos resistance, but I don't know if I can get a high enough one. Another gem. That's like the 5th gem I found today. Usually I find like 1. I don't know why I'm finding more. Is there a button I can click for that one? Oh shit, I got stuck. Oh god, I might die right there. I literally got stuck. I was trying to jump out of it and it pushed me back in. Yeah, the switch is on this side. So like you can tell on the map like there's a door here, but there's a switch right there. Then it opens the door. It doesn't tell you there's a switch. You just have to look for it. Now there was a chest back there, but there was also another way in. Drop me a waystone, you bitch. Like, just talking shit. There might be something up here I haven't killed yet. Oh, it's an elite, maybe. Oh, kind of. I don't know what the blue ones are called. I always call them like an elite mob because of Diablo. But I don't know, magical or something? There's probably a name for it. Only 17 monsters in here. What all weapons have you used so far? Mostly just the bow. I had a sorcerer for a bit, and then I got her to Act 1, and then I remade... I made a ranger and got that ranger to Act 1, but I wasn't really doing much damage, and I didn't like my build, so I thought about respecking the whole thing, and I was like, why don't I just remake another character from ground up and just start a new account? Like why not? So I made a second ranger, is what I did, and that actually surprisingly helped me a lot, because my second playthrough, I had a better idea of what I was doing, and I found better gear on my second playthrough. Like, immediately, I found, like, a bow that did +1 to skills. I found a quiver that did +1 to skills, all before I was, like, level 3. And it made the game unbelievably easy for me for the first act. And I was just like, wow, this is a completely different playthrough. But I also knew how to stack my passives as well, which helped me like do a lot better also, which was nice. So I did that, and it just worked out. But I haven't really explored much with the game as far as trying to figure out what I want to do. Air contains 8 packs of Val monsters. Like weapon-wise, I'm thinking I'll build a sorcerer at some point. I'm tempted to do a crossbow build. I wonder if I can survive that. This one's an interesting one. I'm gonna try it But I'm also going to go to the bathroom before I go back. These are harder maps. You'll see it here in a second. It's called Delirium. I don't know if I can actually do it. We'll find out. One sec. All right, we're back. Got me waiting to download this again. Oh no, dude, don't do it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. It is worth it, actually, though. It really is. Sup, Darth? How you doing, Pogo? This old man, 27? Dude, how old do you think I feel? I'm an old man. Get the fuck out of here. If you're old at 27, what the fuck am I? Like, retired? Like, I don't know. Goddamn. All right, I don't know if I can beat the Delirium one. I think I can. I haven't tried it with this new build yet. I think it'll be okay, but the problem is they swarm you. So if I get stuck, or if it's something I can't deal damage to, it's going to fuck me up. So just warning, I'm probably gonna die. A lot. And I don't like it.
Charged arrow.
Oh, God. Hate it. I hate it so much. Do I just have to survive for a certain period of time, or do I have to kill, like, the Delirium boss thing that runs around? Like that guy. Oh, I think I have to kill him. So with this build, you want to put as many of these down as possible. When they blow up all at once, and the more you have down, the more explosions you get. 20% rarity? That's cool. Used when you kill a rare or unique enemy. Oh, so it doesn't apply total. It just applies when you kill a mob. I haven't figured out what these are. These are interesting. I found one once when I killed a Delirium thing. I think it's just a challenge or a crafting thing. Can be combined with other distilled emotions to instill amulets with notable passive skills or waystones, layers of Delirium. Maps containing a Delirium mirror can have the mirror walk through to unleash the rolling Delirium fog ring, which is what we just witnessed. Defeating any monster while in this fog adds to the rewards counter, with the accumulated rewards being dropped after the fog disappears. So the more you kill, the more you get, apparently. Simulacrum, whatever. I don't know how to say that. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Splinters can be collected from Delirium monsters to form something that allows access to a challenging Delirium encounter via the Realm Gate. Oh, that's the thing on the map. That's the gate. Maps instilled with the Delirium emotions will have constant Delirium fog throughout the map and not have any rewards that drop as the Delirium fog does not disappear in these maps. Interesting. So it'll just stay that way the whole time. This could be cool. If you don't need resistances, a little Magic Find charm, a little boost of 20. It's not high, but it'd be kind of cool for a Magic Find build. Maximum life is crazy high on that. T9. And it's 144. That could be something. It also has resistance on there, 25 to cold. You would want to roll that. You'd roll that with a Regal. Ew. Energy shield is low. Not great. Oh well, wasted a regal. 1592 gained over. Wait, does this say mana? Removes 15% of life recovered from mana when used. Ew, that's trash. I don't want that. I need my mana. This could have been cool. I mean, you might be able to sell it for maybe an exalted. I don't know. Maybe someone would pay it and roll it. Maybe. The Poe website is down. Not again. You can't trade. Oh no, that happened to me yesterday. That sucks. That really sucks. I need to stop spending my exalted orbs on things. And to stop rolling items. But I keep finding things that I want to roll and I want to craft. But I need to find more. And the problem is I can't find enough of them fast enough. I'm hoping at like tier 1, like the higher tiers, I can get more orbs and like just have a collection of like 300, but I doubt it. I just don't think you get as many. Like, I don't think you get enough. Maybe I'm just complaining because I'm greedy, but I am greedy. I know that. I wonder if you ever actually find anything good out of these chests. I'm sure someone does, but his name is not me. Blue magic, like magic, like the waves are just magic monsters, yeah. I usually call them uniques or like rares. I even sometimes call them like mini bosses. Like, it's just, you know, it's an elite mob or something like that is another name that I usually throw out because that's what I used to call them back in the day. Back on good old Diablo 2. I just didn't know if they had a different name for them or if it mattered. Now sometimes you can like launch arrows over the wall and you can cheese it. Oh no, there's an explosion there. Where's the boss? Where's the mom? Okay, there's that one. Oh, there he is. Oh damn, he did a little bit of damage. See, the death effects are kind of rough because like he had the ice one there, and if you're not looking, it can get you. I'll take a regal orb though. That's cool. 98 to maximum mana, 25 lightning. That's a good boot. Minus the fact it doesn't have movement speed on it. I think if it had movement speed, I would roll it, but there's no reason to because I just don't need it. I mean, I need it, but like, I don't want to waste my exalted orbs on that. I think that's another thing. You're gonna have to decide like where to spend your gear and what to spend it on. Like right now, I think I need better gloves, but those gloves are going to cost me like 30 orbs unless I can find them myself, which I don't think I'm going to be able to. It's going to get expensive. I wonder if I can wave clear with using this. Yeah, I kind of can. Bosses, though, I'm probably going to have to use the other stuff on. Oh, why are there so many bugs, bro? That one you have to watch out for those little purple orbs. They're really fucking annoying. Those plants, what they do is they make like a hammer and they sneak up on you. And they sneak up on you, they blow up all at the same time. They like smash you and it can instant kill. It's really shitty.
Now this will come in handy.
It's really shitty. Let's go vendor this. Website down. Maybe they're fixing the crash. I mean, there's hope. You never know. I don't think I need that. Yeah, I'll just go sell all this. I have so many runes. I don't even know what to do with them. It's like, do I keep them? Do I throw them away? Like, what do I do? I feel like I just gotta chuck them at some point. But it's like, nah, you can keep them. You'll use them. It's like, for what though? Those boots are good. Like, they have potential. This one has potential too with that maximum life roll, but I think it's kind of cooked after it rolled a T3 and T4. I don't know if anyone's going to want it, but I'll just stick it in here. So what you can do if you want to trade items, I just threw some things in here that might be worth something. They're really not. They're not that great. But you right click it, you set the price, and then if somebody sees it, they'll come buy it. I think these are all overpriced. Like, they're super overpriced. So if they don't sell, I'm just going to craft them down. I'm just going to destroy them after a certain period of time. And then, okay, you know, no big deal. Doesn't hurt me any. Just sat in the inventory. But it just lets me get rid of a lot of the stuff that I would normally, you know, stick in the inventory and forget about. So it's kind of nice that you can do that. I love that feature. It's like, oh, I just want to sell this item. Well, put it in your little storage spot and then list it. And it does it for you. Now, you still have to go, like, they'll message you and be like, hey, can you move the item to me? And it's like, yeah. And then you just go and you trade it. They invite you, you invite them, and they'll open a trade window for you. But it saves so much time. There's an elite guy right here. How'd that work out? He dropped the bow, though. I could roll that one. Test my luck at the rolling factory. Need better mana. I'm gonna do that. Additional arrow. Ew, low roll. Ew. They're level 4, but they're not good stats. Ew. Max life. That's high. Now, if I found that, what would I want on it? Like, that's a good question. Max life. Probably like evasion ratings, things like that could help. This one has energy shield on it, so you're probably looking for like more like a wizard thing here. So maybe, I don't know. You can roll it again. See, stun threshold. I'd probably pitch it. I just feel like everything I farm, I just ditch. Like 90% of it. Sup, Patrick? How you doing, man? Like, the majority of the stuff that I find, it just doesn't seem useful for me.
Speak.
So I just, you know, get rid of it.
Go.
Is there a rune tab, by the way? Like, I've just been doing this for runes, but there's also like a skill gem one like this. Like a premium tab, which is super cool, but I need one for runes. Because I have so many. So many. Like, an unbelievable amount. And I don't like it. Because I have so many. Like, too many. In the same class as you, any tips? I'm level 25. Where are you at in the campaign? You're probably like Act 2 by now. I got plenty of tips because I had to go through all that shit just a little bit ago, and I'm a new player too. So this is like my first time playing this game, and it took me a while, and I had to learn a lot of new things. Okay, so you're on Act 2, you're level 25. If you're a ranger, I would say that you want to look up a build that is going to obviously help you deal more damage. You're going to have more survivability. Like, you're going to want to prioritize a few things, and I'll go over it with you real quick. So when you're building a ranger, it's important to understand that they deal physical damage as their base, and everything that they do physical damage gets converted into elemental damage. So if you are doing a lightning build, I can show you on the lightning arrow. Hopefully my camera's not in the way. But your lightning arrow converts 40% of your physical damage to lightning damage. So you only do 40% damage of your lightning arrow, right? Like, so what you want to do is you want to find items that increase your base physical damage, so that's higher. And then you also want to find items that give you more lightning damage, fire damage as well. And I can give you an example. I think with my gloves, they have it on there. So my gloves do physical damage and fire damage. The fire damage modifier doesn't really matter. It could be cold damage. It could be lightning damage. It doesn't matter. The idea is that you want more damage. But the main one, if you can find it, is physical, because that's going to make your lightning damage also do more. And if you find more lightning damage, so if this had lightning and physical, it would do even more. You still want the fire one there because it just does more. You know, it's a bonus. So that'll help you a lot more. The other thing is when you're getting gear, you probably want to maximize your evasion, but you really probably want to prioritize your maximum health and maximum mana on items or equipment. So this one has a max life roll, but it also has a high evasion roll. And evasion, at least on a ranger, if you don't understand, will, let's see, can I do it with my character? Mine's low right now, and I need to improve that, but it's like a 50-50 that you dodge, essentially, is what it is. So the higher your evasion rating, the more likely you are to dodge an attack, and it just does 0 damage. So you can stand there, and they can't hit you. So if you can get that to like 70, that would be really cool, but it's probably harder to do unless you're really maintaining it. But for as far as rangers go, you really just want more damage output. Like my quiver does 15 physical damage, 15 to 20. It does 1 to 25 lightning. Like, this is a very rare quiver, but you might be able to find one that does like 1 to 8, 1 to 5, you know, early on, and that'll carry you through the campaign. The other things that you want to look out for, like attack speed, you want to max your resistances if you can. So my boots, for example, do fire and cold resistance. My gloves have fire and cold. My belt needs work, but it does lightning and cold. I need to upgrade the lightning one. My chest armor, I think, has fire and lightning resistance. But really, for rangers, you're just updating your overall physical damage. That's going to be your main modifier, and then evasion. Because the more damage you do, the more likely you are to potentially survive, because you can kill things. A lot of people will stack their like health, and they're like, yeah, that's plenty. But they don't deal any damage, so they just kind of go through their potions early on, and they get their ass beat. And it's like, well, you need to have some damage. So early on, I'd say like getting damage out of the way is more important. 67% is not bad, but it's not good enough. I'll get rid of it. But I wish I knew a lot of these things early. Also, your passives, you're going to want everything as far as your passives to kind of stack into your current build. So all your passives trees should give you more damage. They should give you more electrical, more elemental damage, more physical damage if you can, more attack speed usually. And it should just kind of like work together. I think that's the best way to phrase that. Everything's going to stack on top of each other. And you're just trying to piece that together so you get more and more and more. The more that you can do, the more damage output you have, the more likely you are to do higher maps. The faster you clear maps, the faster you farm, the easier it is for you to kill bosses. And understanding how your skills work is a huge one. So like I'm putting lightning rods down everywhere, and then I'm using salvo to detonate them. And salvo does a shitload of damage because every single rod that's down explodes at the same time. And the more rods I put down, the more of them that I trigger at the same time deals a huge amount of damage. and it's like an explosion, so it kills everything nearby, and it does it very quickly. So understanding how your skills stack like that, and you can stack damage together, really does help. Since you're a low level, you're not going to have some of those skills, but you can use like Rain of Arrows. You could probably use, I don't know, Magnetic Salve was like a level 40, 50 skill. But I used Rain of Arrows, I used the Lightning Attack, and I used this one, Lightning Rod, to still spam, and then I would just shoot with my left one, which still works. So building a Lightning Sword that does this, you put the Lightning Rods down, and then you spam as they're standing on them, helps. It'll do more damage, kind of like that. You'll just see it, it'll just explode and kill everybody. It's a weaker version of me doing this with the bigger arrow. But yeah, there's a lot. The other thing too, if you get stuck, go farm. Like, go level up and kill things around you. You'd be surprised. There's a decent farm in Act 2 as well. I think it's Act 2. Before you fight like one of the bosses at the very end on the caravan, you can just farm that area. It's like one of the last areas if you made it that far. You're sitting on like a cart that like is traveling and being pulled by dogs. It's a very narrow area, so if you spam all your lightning out around, you can just shoot your lightning like through all of them, and it just kind of kills them all. And I farmed that area for like a couple hours to get better gear and better loot so I could go kill the boss. Because I was a little bit behind. I just didn't have enough health, enough mana to really kill him, and I needed to fix that. So the only way I could fix it was by getting better gear, and I realized I have to go farm it. Like that was the sad part. And the fact that I leveled up more too helped, because I could put more stuff in my skill tree, my passives, that helped me deal more damage as well, which made it easier to kill the boss. I know the game's a little complicated, but there's a couple builds for the Ranger right now that still work, especially during the campaign. And it's probably a good idea to try to follow those. But they did nerf a couple of them, so it's kind of a challenge. And I'm still in between. Like, I'm still learning like what works now versus what doesn't. And this build that I have is still incomplete. Like, my skill tree's all sorts of messed up right now. Like, I need to go back in there and redo the whole thing. I'm just lucky that it's still working for me and getting kills in these higher level maps at the moment. I think I'm only in like a level 2 map, but I can still do level 5s. I'm trying to get a little stronger to do the higher, like level 10, level 15s or whatever they are. But I haven't gotten there yet. So I'm just kind of waiting to get better gear and then unlock those. But going through the campaign's really not that bad. It's just getting enough gear to deal the damage. Like, that's the sad truth. And then also surviving. If you can find health gear, mana gear, evasion gear, those are things I'd prioritize. You know, a little bit of resistances don't hurt either. Even in Act 1, a lot of people struggle with fighting the boss in Act 1. And it's like, well, what's your guys' like evasion rating? Like, what's your health at? Like, and they're like, oh, I don't have any health modifiers, and oh, I don't have any damage modifiers. And it's just like, well, dude, like that's kind of why. like that's usually a problem. So I've seen that a lot with newer players, and I don't blame them. It's just those things can be fixed easily. It's just you have to pay attention to what gear you're finding. But I didn't know what I was doing the first time through, so I made huge mistakes, like huge mistakes. And that really, really, really hurt, you know, because that learning curve is no joke. It's steep. And this is the first time I played this game. I played Diablo for a long time, and this is different than Diablo. With Diablo, it was kind of easy. You know, it's like, oh, I'll just build my character and, you know, learn one skill. And this game's like, no, you can't really do that. Like you gotta do it differently. Oh, the accuracy roll is good, but everything else sucks on that one. That one sucks. I'm just gonna craft all these down. I'm gonna get some regal orbs out of them. I should just sell them for money, but with as much as I craft, I should. I need a better map. I need like another map 5, but it doesn't drop me any keys. Maybe we could do a tougher one, like one of these ones with like a boss on it. like that one. It's only level 2 though, but it's the only one I can do. I would also look for builds. There's a couple one. Moxus made one. There's another one that's going around that's recent too on YouTube. I tried his build, and mine's kind of in between. Like I have his passive tree right now, and it works, but my character didn't do well with his skill set because I think he relies more on cold damage, and I'm still doing more lightning damage. So I kind of abandoned his build, and I just went back to my old one. But I think I'm going to change mine to have more lightning focus, more dexterity. And maybe at a point, if I ever learn enough, I'll make a build guide for it. But I'm sure someone's going to beat me to it. So it's like, it's always worth checking. What is this one? Is that just lightning? Yeah, it's lightning damage. Lightning damage hits the ground near me while I'm running around. The shrines are so cool. It like reminds me of Diablo 2, but they're like on crack. They look incredible. But it's funny because like when I played this, I got in here a few days ago and I could barely beat a level 1 map. Now I can do level 5. And I haven't gone any higher than that because I haven't found a waystone for it. But if it gives you hope, it's like, yeah, you'll level up, you'll progress. It just takes time. Also, getting drops. Ooh, another idea for you, Stuart. One thing that you need to know. I need to go back to town to show you. And if you haven't been doing this already, it's probably going to change your life, like legitimately. It'll make or break the campaign for you. And I think it'll probably help you more than anything. So anytime you level, especially early on, change your gear anytime you can to better gear. But when you go to the shops and you talk to these vendors, this is super important. Every single item in the shop gets reset every time your character levels. So if you go from level 25 to level 26, go check the shop because they'll drop new items. Now, they sometimes drop items like this. And this one's not a great item, but if you were like a level 1 player, this is like a level 20, level 30 player, this is probably a good example. This item has 50% increased physical damage, 6 to 7 physical damage, 6 to 7 cold damage, and then it also has, you know, dexterity bonuses, and the attribute requirements get reduced, and some lifesteal. Those ones aren't as important. But this bow is available at the shop, and it's probably better than most bows that people find. Because it has 2 damage multipliers plus the 50% damage multiplier at the top. And that's like a tier, probably like a tier 3 at most there, I think, on that one. Tier 2, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. You should be able to find those in the game. But every time, and I mean this for like every item, not just your bow, your quiver, you can look for those here too, your armor, your gloves, your boots. I pulled boots out of here that had like 2 resistance bonuses, movement speed, 25% movement speed on them constantly. Like this one is kind of a good example, but it doesn't have great movement. There's no movement speed on it, but it has maximum life, has maximum mana, it has lightning resistance. That's 30. Like this one's a little bit higher because it's probably like level 70. But the idea is still the same. A lot of my low level loot came from the shop. And even then, you can roll it a little bit. Like if you find one in here that has a good stat, like let's say it had resistance on it, you could roll that with these. And you can upgrade it, and it might work. And it's like a simple upgrade, but that upgrade early on can make a huge difference for your character. And it's cheap. Like, you can just go here and buy it. Like, it's like, oh, it's simple. So every time you level, literally check the shop. Check each vendor. You'd be surprised. The other option you have is gambling, where you just gamble. So it's like, oh, I need a new bow. Gambling's really hit and miss. You can do okay, but you have to spend a lot. Or you get really lucky, maybe, just depending. Like, belts are 10, 12k each. And it's like, well, those 2 belts suck. Like, they're not good. The thorn damage on that is unusually high. But sometimes you'll find good things like rings or amulets if you want to spend the money. But but really check the shop, like legitimately, because you will find some very good gear in the shop constantly. 50% increase physical damage. 15 to 23 fire. That's interesting. It's not good, but it's like good. I'm going to keep that and craft it down. That's another thing you can do with items too. You can reforge things. So these bows, this one I want to roll because it has a super high lightning damage on it, but I'll do that later. But if you have 3 of the same items, you probably don't need to do this early on when you're like a newbie, like when you're early, because the items aren't going to be that great. So I'd probably save some of your exalted orbs until later, just because you probably don't want to go through them. But there's a reforge bench. So if you find 3 of the same rare items, you can put them into the bench and it'll give you 1 new rare item and you just identify it again. It might be a piece of shit item, but sometimes it could be better. So that can help save you if you're actually doing that later in the game too. But I'd really just say that check the shop. Sometimes gambling can help, but checking the shop is like probably the best thing to do. Like, I still find shit out in there that I'm crafting. Like, that's how I got my bow. This bow, I've had this since Act 2. Like I'm not kidding. I got this bow in Act 2. And the way that this worked for me, I got really lucky. When it was in the shop, it just said 130% physical damage. That's all it had on it. It said 130% plus, increased physical damage. And I was like, man, that's a really high roll for physical damage, like percentage increase. And I was like, man, if I roll that by using an exalted orb or a regal orb, and go up another level, it'll be really, it'd be really lucky if I get, physical damage. So I rolled it, and I shit you not, I rolled the 15 to 30 physical multiplier on it. Now that's like hitting the lottery for terms of like getting a good bow. Because the 130% plus 15 to 30 are really high rolls. They're kind of unusual, but they complement each other in such a big way. And then I increased it by putting runes in there, so it went up to it's 170% technically. Then I rolled the rest, and I got really unlucky. I got accuracy, I got dexterity, and I got 5 life per enemy, which is not great. Those stats don't really help. The only one on there in addition that I got was the level projectile skills, but I'm still using this bow, and I'm level 70 because I haven't found anything that does enough damage. Like, it's just such a high damage roll that I've been able to use this thing through like the second half of the campaign. I went through the whole cruel difficulty with it, which made it a lot easier, and I found that thing at the shop. I found another bow today that was very similar. It has like a 30 to 40 damage for physical instead. I rolled it, but I didn't get anything good on it, so it was unlucky. But really early on, that shit can help, and it can go a long, long way. So I keep an eye out for it. Always check it. Every time you level, it resets. And you level so fast in those beginning stages. And I think a lot of players miss those items. And I feel like a lot of them could easily go through the campaign. They just don't know. Not to mention the learning curve. They don't know what to look for. They don't know that the items reset. I didn't know. And I found out, and I was like, no fucking way. They do reset. Like, I thought it was a timer thing. And it's nope, every time you level. Now later on, obviously it's not a big deal because you'll just find stuff while you map. But still, I always check it because maybe there's a really, really good item in there. And surprisingly, there still are. So I'd say that's probably the best way to get items for questing outside of gambling. And then just looting. Also, the other thing you can do, you can farm the hunting grounds in Act 1 over and over and over again. That usually drops good loot. I don't know about being when you're in Act 2, though, because the level difference is kind of weird. Yeah, close to a god roll then. At least on this one, for the 2 damage multipliers, I got like the 2 highest that I could have gotten at the time. So I got really lucky. But even then, like if you rolled something that was like 60, 80% bonus, and then you had another slightly lower physical damage, it would do half the damage my bow does, but it would still be good enough to maybe carry your ass through the campaign. So that's why I always suggest that. It's like, just try it. You can also use these orbs, these cheaper ones. I'm still doing it now. Every time I find a bow that's like a white item, I roll it. I use those 2 ones just to make it a rare magic item, because if I can do the same thing I did with my original bow, where I roll a physical multiplier, I'm probably going to get shit on here, by the way, just a heads up. Oh shit, he teleports. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I didn't realize he does that with the ground. This guy's a little bit stronger than I thought. One problem that I have with my build currently... Nah, it's actually not a problem. I lied. Oh, he's gonna throw a rock. I didn't know he did that. Holy shit, I've never fought him before. He's in Act 1, but I didn't know he throws rocks. But... Man, I wish I knew he threw rocks. That would have saved me a lot of pain and suffering right there, but now I know. What a rude guy.
Time is of the essence.
There we go. I get rid of that. But if I find like a white bow, I usually just use this to turn it into magic, and then I put another stat on it. And if it gives me a high percentage for physical damage, and then it gives me like another stat like cold or lightning or physical damage, then I might go use a different roll on it. Like I might use a regal orb. But early on, you probably don't want to worry about that because you're a lower level. Like I don't think it would be a good idea for you to do it too much because it becomes expensive. Partying up also increases loot quality. Yeah, if you can find friends that play, that's half the battle. Half the battle is finding people to play with. Because I played so fast, and I leveled up so quick, all my friends that play, they're a lot lower level. So it's like shit. Or they play solo and they farm by themselves as well, because they're just too high level also. But yeah, I'd say playing through with friends is good. It's really enjoyable. It can make it a lot easier too. It does get a little challenging though, because things do scale. Like some of the mobs get stronger, like, but you know, there's 2 of you fighting, so it shouldn't really be too bad. Bosses can be a little complicated. If one of your teammates dies, then you have to defeat the boss by yourself. And if you're not strong enough, then it's kind of a challenge, so it becomes you and your teammate both trying not to die the whole time. But really it can make a lot of difference. It can make a big difference. Just having like 1 or 2 people. Oh shit, where'd the poison damage come from? Holy fuck. That's where the poison damage came from. Holy shit. I don't have poison resistance. Mine's really low. I'm gonna get absolutely destroyed on the higher tier maps when I don't have chaos resistance. But I gotta find loot that helps that. Oh, I just rolled into it, shit. Jeez, that is so much damage. That's one issue I don't like about my build, is my attack speed's a little slower than it should be. And I have to stand here and call this attack in, and it takes a little while. It takes like a full second. That's why I got hit by that rock last time. Because I was trying to attack him, and I stood there, and then I couldn't move. It's not a good quiver to begin with. This is an interesting one. 11 to 16 cold damage. It's not bad, but it's also not great. 35% reduced, 25 cold. Life regen. It's kind of trash. Rarity. Don't need that one. Strength amulet's maxed. What can you get out of that? I'm curious. 14% of damage taken recouped his life. I haven't seen that before. I'm just gonna sell all that. I'm gonna get rid of these quivers too.
Storm point.
But I'm pretty much just farming everything now, even at my higher level, because I need to get certain gear that can push me to do higher quests. But it's hard to replace now. Early on, when you're level 20, it's so easy to find new gear. But it also depends on where you're at. Like, that's also the trick. Because sometimes during the campaign, you'll have like 2 or 3 stats on an item, and you want to get a 4th one that helps you, and it's just you can't find it. And I'm at the same boat, but now it's like I need 4 items, 4 stats per item that help me. And trying to replace that and get the additional 5th item is really hard. Or like the 5th stat. Like in order to replace my boots, I have to have like 30 fire resistance, 30 lightning resistance. I have to have 25% movement speed on them. So there's 3 things I need. I also need max health on them and evasion rating. So it's like, well, there's shit. Now I got to get 5 things. And that becomes very expensive, and it's really hard to replace 5 things with higher level stats. You just don't find them very often. But when you do, it really helps. Like, it changes the whole game. Like, yesterday I found that quiver. Well, I crafted the quiver. I got a god roll on the quiver. Like an actual god roll. High physical damage, attack speed. And I also ended up getting more percent physical on there as well. No, it's actually not. It's 2 damage multipliers on there. And then I got the bow percentage multiplier for bow skills. So it's a legitimate god roll. It's crazy. So it's like you can find good things. You just got to get a little lucky. Oh shit, I didn't realize that's a boss. Ooh. A divine orb. I've only found like 2 of those. Randomizes the numeric values of modifiers on an item. Thanks, Cross. I need to go make dinner for the kids. Love your content. No, I appreciate it, man. Good luck with the games, man. Can I also join you guys for dinner? I'm kind of hungry. Like, I haven't ate today. Actually, I need to go get food here soon, too, but I'll probably do that in an hour. Trading. I want to see what divine orbs are worth. They're worth 10 exalted orbs. God damn. Or sometimes more. They're worth... Well, one guy has 68 of them, and he set the price at 10 each. And then the other one, there's one for sale for 9. That's actually a crazy find. I've only found 2 of those, but the loot filter makes that easy to see. It's like, holy shit, like, it's like, oh my god, I need that. Like, way better, way better. Otherwise, I feel like a player would find it and be like, I don't know what that is. And then they don't really know how valuable it is. That's a good one. Oh, bow. I'm standing in the poison too, like an idiot. Oh, I have really bad poison resistance. Maybe I should stand in it. And this is an example of what I mean when I find bows. I'll show you. So I found this Zealot bow. Now, Zealot bow doesn't have an extra arrow, but I always roll them. So I rolled this one, 52% increased physical, 120% accuracy. That comes together. Like, that's a bonus. Sometimes it does that. And then you roll it again, and now it's 30 dexterity. So it has a perfect dexterity roll and the 50% increased physical damage. It's a good bow, like, in its current condition, but it's not, because this is too low. The increased physical is too low. It needs to be over 100 for me to really care about it. Now, if I were to craft that, and I would waste more abilities on it, I don't think it's worth justifying the cost because of that roll being only 50. But if it was above 100, I think you could try. The dexterity roll on there isn't great either. Another Val Orb too. I'm in here. Nice.
Rather not break my back.
But it could be a really decent bow. It doesn't have any physical multipliers on it. The dexterity one is meh, but it's like, hey, it's not bad. But that didn't cost me anything. I just rolled it twice just to see. And I find those orbs, like 5 of them like 5 of them every hour. Like I find them all the time. So I think that's one thing that people don't really do, is they don't spend their time rolling basic gear thinking it's not worth it. Like, oh, I have to find a yellow item. I have to find the rare item. It's like, dude, most of my gear was blue or white when I found it. And then I crafted it into something better. Cedric, dude, you're gonna you're gonna lose your shit when you see my gear. What do you got to tell me, man? How's it going? Where have I been? Where have I been? I've been streaming. What do you mean? I did watch the Kansas City game though, so I didn't stream yesterday. I streamed early. I streamed early yesterday. That's a lie. I streamed in the morning. Gear, bro. Oh, dude, wait until you see my quiver. You're gonna be so mad or jealous, either one, but maybe both. What'd you end up doing? Let's hear it. Actually, I need to go sell this stuff that I found. I don't have any heals. Fuck, I might die. Damn, I didn't realize I ran out of heals. That was close. That was super close. You also should see what I just found too. I pulled a divine orb out of that. My second one. That's an interesting bow. It just doesn't have enough damage. I got unique boots with 100% pen. Wait, what? That could be kind of cool, actually. That could actually be really good. Although, I feel like you're going to be giving up a shitload of resistances for that. I guess you could build around it, though. Like, you could build gloves and amulets to have better resistances if you're not giving up the boots. But the movement speed, though, that'd be a concern.
Hello. Here's what we have.
That bow's not good. That one's not good either. 128 guard. I haven't seen that one before. We'll hold on to that one. This one, I'm gonna scrap that. Let me make sure. Tier 8 for life regen. Yeah, I don't need that. And then everything else is just bad. Cold resistance is good though. I mean, it's really good. You could roll that, but I don't think it's worth it. Doesn't have max life, doesn't have max mana. Doesn't have anything. I haven't heard of those boots though. That's interesting. The only unique boots I found were these ones. Which is increased movement speed, 53% increased evasion rating, 5 to maximum lightning, and 25. Like, they're not good. Oh, the evasion rating might be good on that, but not really. And then I guess these ones too are technically boots. But I haven't seen a pin one, which is, that could be helpful. Like, that could actually be like legitimately helpful. All right, let's go down to the bug. Oh shit, he teleported. Another exalted? Damn. This raid. What is this raid, dude? I got a Divine Orb in here, a Chaos Orb in here, an Exalted Orb. All in the same raid? On the same map? That's like 12, 13 Exalted Orbs technically in one map. The boots give me plus 15. Oh, so it has movement speed. Literally every time I physical damage hit pin activates, my build literally has 2 uniques on them. So you still have movement speed. You don't have 25, but you got 15. That's better than none. Like, that's still great. Like 15 is great compared to 0, right? Because I feel like a lot of the time you'd be trading that for nothing, and it's like, ugh. No, that's sick. That could be really helpful. Ooh, a tier 2. Is that good? Oh, the stun thing. I don't know about that. Cold resistance is good. Armor is good. I don't know what shields are good or bad. That's a problem. Crash. No. Eh. Wait, hold on. Actually, I need to look at that one. No, it takes my life and turns it in. It takes my mana when I get life. I don't like that. I always thought the unique items were going to be bad, though. Like, they always had a negative trade-off. But a permanent pin, kind of? That'd be really good. Like, that's surprising. That could be really useful. I used to use Rain of Arrows to pin things. Now I'm using this to freeze and stick things when I need to escape, or just like to roll into a group. I can smack that in the middle and freeze everything and then spam my arrows. Like, I can roll in here, smack, and then clean up with that. I also do this. Lizard scale boots. Oh, shit, I found 2 rares. Speaking of boots, I just picked one up. That's kind of funny. What are the odds? Might clean out the rest of this map, because I actually had good loot on this. This is this is probably one of my highest ones. The Divine Orb being on here, a couple Exalted Orbs, a Chaos Orb, all in the same one. Like, what the hell? I'll show you my quiver, too. You're going to laugh, unless you've seen it already. But what are the boots that I found? 29 life, maximum mana, strength. Those are decent, but they're low-level rolls. No movement speed. So those are junk, unfortunately. I'm going to craft those for Regals. I'm starting to collect a nice amount of them. And I'll show you the quiver I got yesterday. I found this thing and I crafted the whole thing. I got like a god roll quiver, like an absolute absurd quiver. One thing I didn't think I would ever get, let alone find, I found this. So this is crazy. It does 15 to 20 physical damage. It does 1 to 25 lightning damage. It gives me 38% increased damage with bow skills. And then it does 17% for critical damage, which is great. Like, it's not good. It's not the greatest stat, but 20%, cool. The best stat after all of those is 12% increased attack speed. So I get 3 damage multipliers plus attack speed. The last one, 15% chance to pierce, which is crazy. But dude, like, what the fuck? Like, the stats on this are insane. The fact that it has a really high physical, lightning, and increased attack speed at 12%. Like, what? When I found it, I want to say it had 15 to 20. What was the thing on it when I found it? I think it had 38 damage with bow skills on it. And I rolled it and I got the lightning, I think, or I got the physical multiplier, and then I did it again and I got lightning. And I was like, well, maybe if I'm lucky I'll get attack speed or something. And I can't remember which order it dropped in. But when I fucking hit the bow skill one and then I hit the increased attack speed one, I was losing my shit because it's like, no fucking way. I got like all of the ones I wanted. But that thing chunks my damage. Like, it makes my damage like so insane. It literally it literally like adds like 3k damage. Wow, that's probably not a good example. My previous quiver, when I had that on there, it added like 2k damage. But yeah, finding attack speed plus the physical plus the other bonus, like that I didn't think was possible. Like, I knew it was, but I was like, I'm never gonna get one, like, unless I buy it. You know, spend like trade for it or something. And the fact that I rolled it all the way from like a blue item to a gold item was insane. Actually insane. I was gonna go to bed and I played, and I didn't stream. I just was like, I'm gonna play a game. And I played for a little and I was like, I should probably go to bed. I was like, no, I'll do one more. And that's when I found it. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Just incredibly lucky. But now we're hunting for a new bow. We're hunting for new boots, gloves. I need more resistances. So amulets, rings, things that give me chaos resistance. But I need attack speed on my bow, and I need attack speed on my gloves if I can get them. But the hard part is I need to find them to have max life, and then they need to have resistances to keep my resistances high. And that's the struggle I'm at right now, is just not having enough attack speed to do this build correctly, and then not enough attack speed to do to really survive as much. The boots come with 16% increased. Oh, that's cool. I just haven't found a lot of like really good uniques, unfortunately. I need to find a map here. I'm only doing like level 2 maps because I can't get level 5 maps anymore. I burn through them when I get them, but I don't get any stones. So I'm literally like, now I got to do level 2. It's my only one. Actually, I thought I had a level 3. Don't see one there. Don't see one there. Nope. Shoot. I was like, maybe I snuck one in one of these other tabs and wasn't paying attention. But no. Now I gotta do a level 2 map. Boo. No, I went to the portal again. Yeah, I need to increase my invasion rating. Mine's kind of low, unfortunately. Mine's only like 49%. So that's another one I have to fix too. So my evasion rating and my resistances, but my resistances aren't bad. I need to bump up my lightning one a little. And then I need to do chaos. My chaos resistance could be better. But I really need to find better rings. A better amulet. And then I can do that. Wonder if I could beat all these guys with just my other arrow. Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's as fast though. But I need to find level... I need to find a higher tier map. Because I'm just, I'm killing things too quickly. But then again, the last one I was like a level 2 map and I was finding really good loot. I guess it doesn't matter. It helps, but I guess it's not as like the most important thing. Ooh, that hurt. Getting a little too comfy there, Dan. I thought that was an elite mob with his layout. I guess not. I guess he just glows. All physical damage is pinning. That's so insane because all you do is physical damage, probably. I wonder if you could increase the pin duration too, so like they're stuck longer with your passives. So you could make it like if you chain lightning somebody or whatever ability you have, they're just always stuck. That'd be an interesting build to try. I just don't know if pinning would be like the best thing. I think it can be. Like, I think it'd be really helpful, maybe potentially on certain maps, maybe.
Need more time. Take this.
I decided to use my tree for evasion rating and look for Gil on life on kill. I think that's what I think that's kind of what I'm gonna have to do with this build. Is I need to have more damage for certain things, but I think I need to focus like dex, maybe evasion rating.
Break my back.
That prime quiver, you want to pick these up by the way. They have a default stat of up to 10. Oh wait, hold on. 128, 38 life. I don't know if that's okay. It's not great. Not good. Not good. I thought for a minute with the life roll there it was going to be really good. But these quivers, when you find them, they have 10% attack speed built in. Ah, that sucks. It's a good low level one, all T1s. But I think for me, I changed my my build. I was going to copy somebody else. And I respect everything. I learned their skills, and it just didn't perform well, so I changed mine again. I went back to what I was using, but I still have their tree. I haven't changed their passive tree. It works with magnetic salvo, but they use cold damage essentially, and I use lightning, so it's all good. It's like elemental damage bonuses, but I need to increase my like damage bonuses with magnetic salvo. But at the same time, I'm thinking I want to increase my evasion. I want to do like a pure dex build. Make that elemental, like to convert physical to electrical damage as well. It works right now, like in its current form, but I think it could be better. I like the ability to freeze things with these, with this escape shot arrow. And I feel like I might be able to find a way to make that better, to where I can freeze everything. And then just have all these enemies that I'm fighting get frozen, potentially. And even if they don't get frozen, they just die, like, quicker. So I need to adjust it and tweak it to make it stronger, but I just haven't had the ability to do yet, unfortunately. The other issue is my attack speed's kind of low. I need it on my bow and my gloves. Those are the only two areas that I need to improve it on. Unless I can stick it on a ring, maybe. Or an amulet. And then fix my resistances and get extra attack speed. Because the magnetic salvo, you sit here and you stand still for a while, and I hate that, and that gets me killed. Sometimes you get your attack interrupted as well, too. And that's a problem. I don't like that at all. So you're trying to cast it, and then they hit you, and then it's like, oh, and then you die because like you didn't call it in. Like you have a mob on you and you get trapped or something, and you're trying to use it, and you can't. That's also where escape shot is helpful. I can smack that, and then if I have, you know, it gives me a chance to like land on the ground, not be swarmed, and then immediately call it in and just clear everything in front of me. So that's kind of a nice thing. You're getting attack speed from the tree. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that too with some of these as well. The hard part is like Magnetic Salvo does really well with damage because you're proccing the rods for 100% electrical, and then Magnetic Salvo turns those rods and makes them explode. So the more rods you put down, the more damage you do. And it really does quite a bit of damage. So you can kill bosses very fast and effectively, but I think my skill tree isn't prioritized just yet for that, so it doesn't do as much as it should be doing. Because I kind of have like an in-between. But it's so expensive to respec. I was like, fuck, I'll do it when I farm money, so that's what I'm doing now. And this build's working. Like I can clear these maps, and I can farm and get items and get loot. It's just getting the gold and stuff takes a while. It's just like, ugh. Like, like it's not great. 19 to 35 is good. That's an interesting one. Attack speed. Do I ditch it or roll that one? That one's not good enough, I don't think. It's got 2 good stats, though. I've been doing this with like with every bow I find. Trying to get another god roll. But usually I just end up selling it. I think this one's worth selling. I mean, you could roll that. So I might stick it in here with my collection. I have a bunch of different random bows that I'm going to merge. Like this one's kind of cool. 2 to 87 lightning. And then the 28 dexterity is pretty good, but meh. It doesn't have physical damage, doesn't have a physical multiplier, but the lightning damage is high enough. I might just trade it for something or sell it. But I just keep finding shit like that. And at some point I'll try to just break it down and get rid of it instead of wasting resources on it. But yeah.
Thunderous shot.
I'm just kind of stuck right now on my loot. I just need to improve a few things. And then I could probably do like higher than tier 5. I just need to find the waystones. I just don't find them. Which is kind of unfortunate. Tier 1. Like, hey, I need more waystones. Here's a tier 1. The game's just fucking with me at this point. I guess I also could bring out my other arrow here and get more crit damage for Magnetic Salvo to do even more damage. I didn't even think about it, but I don't have it on here. I could do Storm Callers instead of doing my lightning attack. That would do a lot more. So I could Storm Caller him. I could do that. I can mark him. When I do that, it'll do even more. He'll basically just get deleted if I do it that way. Now this guy's dead. I need to go around and get these two and then maybe go back and get the last one. I'll go up here and kill him first. Oh, I missed a Facebook chat. Hold on. Sorry. Why am I not streaming on Twitch? I am streaming on Twitch. Did it die? It says I'm live. Did you click the link in the description to go to Twitch. Because I'm live. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I might die right here. I fat fingered the wrong button. Gonna wait till all that poison fucking. That was close.
Rather not break my back.
Those are high. Ooh, those are good. The evasion rating on there is a bonus if they roll, and then the cold resistance is nice. So if you roll them, you might get really lucky and get like another resistance or attack speed or something else. Good armor, but I don't think I need them. Nope. Let's go get the other boss.
Charged arrow.
Oh shit, I walked right into that. I called it in the wrong way. That's awkward. I think I have to stand next to that guy in order to kill him. Some of them have a range. A gold amulet. That's a magic vine amulet, I think. Whoa. 35% increased rarity and then 13 as a base. It has maximum life on it too. That's interesting. Could be worth something. Does that be like 47? 8. Yeah, 48. Math is hard. Maximum life on those are high. No movement speed though. It's like when I find stuff like this, it's like I want to roll those, but it's like, not worth it. Because if I do that for everything, I'm gonna run out of items. Run out of crafting materials, to say the least.
Storm point.
Ow. That was a shrine over here. That's funny. forgot what lunar amulets are. Is that mana? Or is it something else? No, it's I think it's dexterity or something like that. What's up, Eva? How you doing? Energy shield. 25 out of 30. 44. And dexterity. I wonder if that's a... These are interesting. The max... Yeah, I don't think they're worth much, but... Interesting. Honestly, I'll just take them with it because I'm going to sell them. Because this map's completed. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with those current ones. Lightning damage from hits contributes to electrocution buildup. I don't know. It would really depend on your build. Probably, I'd say probably not. Unless you're trying to shock or electrocute enemies specifically for that effect, then maybe. You might have found a legendary item, but it's probably only going to work in certain conditions. So it's like, I wouldn't know on what you're building, unfortunately. I don't want to do a level 1 map, bro. Sell me a new map. I want to do level 5 maps, but I can't find them. Magic monsters, that might drop me better loot. Bigger monsters. Can you put more waystones in one thing? Oh, actually, the next one will have a boss on it, I think. Oh, shit. I clicked the portal. I always click that goddamn portal. I don't know what that one is. This one's a boss. That one's Delirium, which I've actually been able to beat the Delirium ones. Depending on the mob. I want to do a boss one again. Can you do that? No. Alright, I'll be right back. 1 sec. Ooh. All right. So much more to do. So little time. I don't know if the boss will kill me in this one. Probably. I don't know who it's going to be. I think I can kill it with the other arrow, though. I should be able to. I might have to rework my build a little bit, but yeah. I think these guys are going to do all poison. I've never played this map yet. Not in this section. Oh, this could be a problem if it's who I think it is.
Storm point.
Oh god, I hate those things. Those shield guys that bounce it back at you, it's super annoying. Because it like travels so quickly and it hits so hard. It does so much damage. And they're just really, 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 really irritating. Oh, it's that guy. It's like, what's causing all my problems? Oh, that poison. For a second I thought I was going to be in trouble because I landed on the bubble, but I think when I killed him it disappeared instead of blowing up. It could have been bad. Yeah, the Prime Quiver could be good. They always have attack speed bonuses on them. So you could roll extra attack speed or physical damage like that, which would be kind of cool. But the physical damage on that's low, so it's worthless. Ooh, 18%. Ooh, gross. Super worthless. Not ideal.
Storm point. Not ready.
Why can't I... Am I like... Let's say, is that glitched or what? Like, I couldn't attack for a second there. I think I was stunned or something. Oh, I'm gonna go get shit on. Oh god. I haven't done this one yet. I don't know what it is. It's a witch, so I think she does poison damage. I'll probably get killed, but who knows? Maybe not. Now she does ice. Wait, this is like the Act 1 witch. Like one of the first things that you fight. I'm not trying to stand on that. Alright, well, we got a Waystone 3. Advanced double gauntlets. Socketed. A couple crossbows. Ooh, interesting. Rarity, dexterity. Nothing great on those, unfortunately. No. No. Eh. All garbage. Okay, so that's cleared. I gotta go get the rest. I don't think that's the map cleared, though. Still think I gotta get more.
Stay light, stay alive.
Let's go sell some things. No, I did that wrong. No, I did that right. Three to five physical, yeah.
Go. What can I do for you? Time is not on our side.
Charge arrow.
There's still a lot of mobs here. Oh, I gotta go south. I gotta go here. Oh, I walked right past him. Is that the only one that I have to kill? That and the boss that was on the map. Do I get any rewards for doing that other than just the loot? Probably just the loot. Unless maybe it gives me something else. I don't know. I don't think so. I did get a waystone though. That was a thing. Oh, why am I doing that? Hold on. Wrong button.
I need more mana.
Tier 2. Or what was the tier 2? What? The mask. Interesting. Lightning. Okay. That map's done. Oh, hold on. Sometimes the minions might drop something. You never know. Ow. He dropped something, but it wasn't good. It did damage. It was not nice. I want to do this third level 3 map, but I might wait. I think I'm gonna grab some food,
See what you think.
and I'll come back maybe and do another stream. I'm gonna take care of some other stuff today too, so I might not be on right away. But I think I'm gonna take a quick lunch break now, and then maybe come back in a few hours, and then stream for a little bit more. But it really depends on what I get done later. So I'll let you guys know. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out, watching. We're making progress. We're almost level 75, level 73. So we're creeping up there. But I'll be back soon. You guys enjoy your day, and don't work too hard. I'll see you guys in a bit. Take care, guys.